going cold?
No. Oh, there we go. Hello.
There you go.
I guess we could just go in cold.
Let's do it.
Let's
Going
do
dry.
it. Going dry.
I don't want to
hand.
go in dry.
It's too
It's a
late.
nooner. You have no choice. Oh my God. She already gives the
Wow,
chat.
right off the top.
Behave yourselves, okay? Behave yourselves. Jeez. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. I'm still sick. Okay. So words.
Oh man.
My brain is not working that well. It's the duder. It's
But you know what would work well?
what?
Your new Meta PC.
Oh yes, my new Meta PC. When I hook it up, will work great. It'll work fantastic.
Well, it'll look great for sure.
Yes. Before I forget, let's just get that out of the way. Let's just do it. It's not getting it out of the way. Sorry, Meta PC, but hang on. I've got a video.
We're just forgetful.
Ooh, look at this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I guess our link was bad, but we fixed it now. So I will be playing Hogwarts on this to achieve full bigotry. Nice. That was sexy.
Yo, that was
is
cool.
So sexy.
Cool.
I didn't see the graphics card on the inside had that like cityscape with the Nerdrotic. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
That's
missed it.
Yeah.
I'll have to
It's
check
like a
it out
little
next
bat
time.
signal in there. Nerdrotic signal.
Right. That's right. It's pretty freaking dope. So I don't want to put it together. So my son's gonna supervise. So I don't mess it up. But I've been under the weather, which sucks because I think it's I'm not gonna be able to make my access media. It's by the way, this isn't the first thing I've been asked to earlier. We saw Silent Night. I was invited to the Orville premiere for season 3 that I couldn't make, which sucked. And I don't think I'm going to be able to make this one either.
Damn.
And
You can't
it's-
get that little goodie bag.
I can't get the goodie bag. Hopefully, I was going to meet a bunch of people. That was what I was looking forward to, but I'm going to be there in a couple weeks anyway. So hopefully we can like all have dinner and hang out. Right, Chris?
Yes, that's happening.
That's happening because we'll be down for Chrissy Mayer. And then who knows, maybe end up in Vegas for a night to go see Ricada's meetup, or not. I don't know. You never know as a YouTuber because like then Kathleen Kennedy could get fired and I just got to stop and make a video. You know, that's just, it's a weird life.
News is always
It's a
flowing.
strange life. There's always news. There's big news. But first, hello, Chris Gore from Film Threat. What's
Hey
up, buddy?
Gary, thanks for having me. Glad to be here. I feel like if I don't watch YouTube, if I miss YouTube for like 10 hours, I need to catch up on all the news that's happening. Fast and Furious. Luke Skywalker is gay, apparently. That's happening, even though
Sure. Whatever.
there's a lot of proof to the contrary. But yeah, man, oh my God. Let's just start. I'm just happy to be here and talk to good to see you, Garrett, and X-Ray.
Hey
Girl.
man, what's up?
I'm happy to be here too. Hi, Garrett. How's it going?
Hey, it's really good. I was playing that bigoted transphobia game, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, you're
I'm
a
gonna-
bigot and a transphobe,
yeah.
so I mean,
So it
only
matches, you
natural.
know.
Yeah.
I feel like it
on
matches
brand.
my personality.
Yep.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I think I'm gonna do it again probably tonight.
Attaboy.
But I'm ready to talk with you because I feel like Chris. You could pay attention for like a week straight and it'd be like, there's nothing going on. You take one day off of paying attention to the news, and then something huge happens. It's like every time.
Missed everything.
Yep. And this is a slow period. It's been pretty slow.
This is a slow period.
Yes. Wait, it should pick up though. Hello, X-Ray Girl.
Hello. I have been also playing a bigoted game. Although I don't really. I found the bathrooms. There were gendered bathrooms, so I don't know.
They were gendered.
They were gendered. So I don't know what's
I didn't see
going
any
on.
urinals in the
Do they
girls'
have the
bathroom.
staircase in
I
the
didn't-
Gryffindor common room?
I can't go
girls' room?
there. I'm a
Yeah,
Hufflepuff.
I went up. I tried to go up the staircase. I didn't know it was the girls' staircase, and I slid right down.
Oh,
It should be the same for
no.
every house. I mean, unless Slytherin just
Unless
doesn't
they-
care,
Well,
or
I'm a girl,
Hufflepuff.
so I wouldn't have that happen to me.
Yeah,
I don't-
girls can
Well,
just go
that
to the
is
guys.
actually from the books.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a.
there's a part where Ron's very excited and he wants to tell Hermione some
yes!
news.
Yeah.
And he runs up the stairs and he slides down. He's all, "What was that?" And she comes down and goes, "Well, actually, girls are more
Boys?
trustworthy than boys."
Not allowed.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff in the game that's really cool about how detailed it is and references to the movies and the game or in the books. It's really cool.
Which,
The
I mean,
gameplay is awesome.
fundamentally untrue that girls are more trustworthy.
Yeah, that
than
is
boys
just
are.
wrong.
You are just wrong. Okay, they're just sly about it. Okay.
It's my wife's fault we have the first kid, so just
Wow.
these girls.
Whoa! Wow! Breaking
Throwing
news.
your wife under the bus.
Oh yeah,
Breaking news.
always throwing her under that bus.
She locked it down, man. That's what she did.
I mean,
Had a girl.
Garrett. Well, I'll reveal something from the D&D streams. He loves them wife toes. Gives him a good
What?
good kiss.
This is very out of context. All right,
No, I don't
extremely
think
out of
so.
context.
How do you get out of content? Do you like the toes or not? Yes or
No,
no?
not particularly.
Not particularly.
I was just making a joke, and everybody's taking it out of context. My
Oh,
goodness.
yeah, okay.
That's
Is Dave
okay.
Cullen? Is Dave Cullen in here?
Oh, great. Dave Cullen hearing that I like toes.
You heard it.
Oh yes,
Dang
he
it.
Is. Hi, Dave.
What's up, Dave?
Disregard that, Dave. Disregard that.
I tried to contact you on the Gab, Dave. Dude, I'm dying to talk to you. But once I see Picard season 3, I'm dying to talk to you, Dave. Dying. So I'll try to email you again.
He said he heard nothing.
He heard nothing, of course.
Yes.
I got to thank this guy, this Ginge right here. He gave this little channel a shout out way back in the day, and I got like a couple thousand subs in a day. I was like, what's
Wow.
going on? And Cultivated Media, that's what he's called now. Is a Bulls Trek, the old Bulls Trek, like messaged me and goes, "Dave Cullen shouted us out." I'm like, no, like this guy I've been watching forever. So we
Yeah,
got
I love
Ginge.
Dave Cullen.
He's awesome. I guess we can kind of talk about Picard season. I mean, I don't know. I know nothing. I was supposed to go to the premiere tomorrow. I'm very sad I can't go.
When is it on
but,
Paramount Plus? When does it premiere? Like forever?
I think the same day Ant-Man comes out or the day before. It's on the 16th or 16th, I think. 16th or 17th.
Gotcha.
But Robert's been talking it up, and then Dave has seen it. And Terry, the showrunner, Terry Metalis, who show ran 12 Monkeys, a show I liked a lot. Just like, hey, is Dave out there? Can somebody come? I'll throw him the episodes, and he did, and he saw him, and he said he was hopeful. So that's good. I
Interesting.
mean,
that is really good. I trust Dave's opinion.
I do too.
I trust his opinion on this.
I
It comes
do
out the
too.
16th. The release is the 16th. It's Thursday.
See, like everything's happening, like it's all dead, and then it all happens all at once. I mean, like I guess I could be talking about The Last of Us, but I haven't even gotten around to seeing episode 4 yet. I just don't care enough. I mean, I watched the 3 episodes to be able to talk to everybody on Friday Night Tights and Real BBC about it, and Mahler. But it hasn't moved the needle for me. It's not bad. It's like a well put together show. I think it's just kind of boring. I have a few minor gripes with season 3, nothing major. Dude, that is
that is
oh
saying
my
something.
God.
That is saying something.
That is huge. I'm sure I'll have minor gripes too. Or major ones. We'll find out. Maybe I'll
I saw episode 4. Kind of ends on a cliffhanger. You're good. I would catch up next week if you care, or just do a season wrap up
on Last of Us.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm playing the game at the same time, and I did actually start playing Hogwarts Legacy. I considered.
What house are you in?
I haven't even gotten to that point yet. I haven't even gotten to Hogwarts. Because I spent way too much time making my character, and I thought I'm gonna make a hot, sexy, schoolgirl going to Hogwarts, because every time I play a game,
Oh,
if I have a choice, I pick a sexy female, because if I'm going to be playing a game for 40 hours, I
like
want to
looking
look at
at
an
it.
attractive. Yeah. So, and then I made my character. It does not look. There's too much. Like, I mean, come on. There were just no options to make my female character attractive.
It did
But I
feel kind of bland. Like
Very
the
bland.
character
she's
creation.
15, Chris.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah,
that's
it's
true,
the 5th
too.
year. Come
Velma.
on.
Well, I'm just sort of annoyed. Like, you can't. There just weren't the options. I thought were kind of lame. But I did think it was funny that you could have a female-looking character with a male voice.
With the
Male
dude's
voice.
voice, yeah.
Oh my god.
You can totally mix things up, which is,
You
you
can
know
make-
what? As far as I'm concerned, the more options, the better. I have no problem with
It's
that. I think
hilarious.
that's cool. But no, and also I feel like I'm being like led along a little too much. I just like a game that's open world where I'm discovering how to do things.
Yeah.
Not every minute the screen freezes and tells me I have to push the triangle button and then the R2 to do this. Like, I know that that's training and whatnot, but it just gets annoying.
It opens up a little bit more once you get to Hogwarts,
Yeah.
and then I'm hoping that it opens up even more after that.
It does. It does. There's a
So-
lot of areas to go to.
Chris
Big
Gore,
Mac.
meet Chris Henson, says Paul Schlock. Dave Cullen Show. By the way, if you have not subscribed to the Dave Cullen Show and Computing Forever, you're missing out. Please do so. Create new accounts. Subscribe early and often. There's nothing insurmountable that would negatively affect your enjoyment of the show. Even Rafi is like, what?
What?
It's likable, if you can believe that. No. Wow, that's a big ask. We shall see. Hey, I trust you, Dave. I trust you. That's good news. I mean, like, hey, I think it's a massive win. I think a lot of people will take it the wrong way, but it's not unlike House of the Dragon. The only major difference is Alex Kurtzman's name is still on it, but according to the showrunner, he has nothing to, like, zero input. It's just purely his name's on it. This was Terry Matalas. He was able to, he had carte blanche with the whole show. And Terry has worked on Star Trek. So, I don't want to get people's hopes up. You check it out if you like. If you're done with Star Trek forever, I think it's pretty freaking dead. I personally, the way it sounds, like Terry's not involved in Star Trek anymore, so it's going to be this one anomaly, and then it's just back to the bullshit with Akiva Goldsman on Strange New Worlds, which was just garbage, total garbage. Everything about it. I hate all of Kurtzman Trek. You guys know that. I even stopped after Star Trek Discovery season 3, when a special needs kid basically destroyed Starfleet. I was done. I was out. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Outside of Picard. Picard's still the dumbest. Picard is just dumb. And poor, Terry has to deal with some dumb shit like Robot Picard and just everything from the past. Q dying of space cancer and then moving to Space Canada and then space deleting himself. It's
and season 3 is all attached to that, so
it is. So it's tough. And Terry wrote some episodes, but it was still Kurtzman was the showrunner. And that makes a huge difference. That makes it, if you have, hey, Jessica Gao wrote complete shit for She-Hulk, but she wrote a very good episode of Silicon Valley under the tutelage, under the showrunner, Mike Judge. So it does make a difference. I was going to buy Hogwarts, but I did it just to piss off the crying left. I stand with Rowling. And that's what's weird. And I got to bring that up in my next video, is like, she is the left, Ryan, and you're not wrong. Now, I bought the game because I'm a fan, because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. And thank you for the 50 euros. But this is your Barbara Streisand effect. And this is that reverse effect of when you try to ban something, actively ban it. That's why I think a lot of us don't try to do that. I don't try. I think you're crazy if you want to watch The Last Jedi and like it, but go ahead. I don't care,
it's your time you're wasting.
It's your time, and it's just my opinion. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. I do my personal things that probably make no difference in the world other than it makes me feel better. So I don't anything like even a hot toy. If it's a Marvel hot toy, I will buy it. I will pay more and buy it on eBay so I'm not giving Marvel my money. I share passwords, so I'm not giving streaming services my money. It's, again, it probably does no good, but other than making me feel better.
Putting your money where your mouth is.
Yep. There's a joke
But if
there
everybody did that,
that I won't say.
It's my life at this point.
It is. See how cool X-Ray Girl is, though? Again, unflappable. She just puts up with all this total.
it goes right in it. Yeah.
Right, dive right in.
Right there. And dude, it is an honor to have Dave in our chat, Chris. Dave is brilliant.
I watched Dave. Dave is great. Dave is awesome for years. So yeah, that's cool. He's a viewer of the show.
I miss those walkabout videos he'd do where you just walk around his the park and do videos.
Yeah.
Just talk about stuff. Yeah, I like those.
I like his
Dave.
new stuff, though. It's very pop, especially on the Dave Cullen show, very pop culture focused.
Yeah,
it's going back to old movies, and
Yep.
we're going to be doing that too. That is brilliant. I have not started Hogwarts Legacy. I will do it tonight. We're going to do a member stream. It'll be public on the channel, but I got a special title for at least the next 7 streams that I'm going to use that I think you'll really enjoy.
Secret.
We'll just keep it a secret.
Oh, good.
Keep it a secret for now. We'll just let it surprise it when the notifications go out and see how much YouTube actually likes it.
See if they actually send those.
Let's see if they age
out.
restrict a member stream
Right away.
It's like, do it. But yeah, I'm gonna pick out my character, do it live, and then but like I cannot game for 6 hours, so it'll probably be like an hour of gaming. I get pretty bored. Like Witcher is fun, so I can do that for 2 hours. Witcher is actually fun, but I don't know about this one yet. I was watching a lot of people's gameplay today. I was watching Az trying to figure out what Accio means.
Oh, Accio?
It's Accio.
Is it Accio to you?
See, when I read
Accio to
it,
me.
Well,
I
I
was
listened
thought
to
it
the
was
Jim
Accio.
Dale books, and he said Accio.
Then I listened to the Stephen Fry
Harry
books,
Potter,
and he says
Stephen-
Accio.
He says Accio, and then Daniel Radcliffe says Accio too.
Yeah, that's right. He does.
I've been watching I watched X-Ray Girl. I watched you,
Aw.
Garrett. And I watched Az, and I got very intimidated because you guys got so far in the. I might be a little better than
Melanie
Garrett.
Mack is like way farther. She's
It's like
10
10
hours
hours
into the game.
in.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
But yeah, I just I prefer it open world, and so I kind of feel like I'm being led along. But again, I'm not even at Hogwarts yet. That's how I only played for an hour last night because I wanted to just get my. But it took long to set up my character. But I'm looking forward to. There's a Dune game that's coming out. That's,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no, really?
Yeah,
yeah, for PlayStation open world Dune game that I want.
For PlayStation only, or is it going to be?
No,
on PC?
it'll be all platforms.
I think it's all.
It looked. I can't wait for that. So there is a sort of teaser trailer for it on YouTube.
I
It
got
looks
really
kind of
into
like
that
the Mad
movie.
Max game.
The second time I watched it, I got way more into it. I was like, oh, I really like this now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude, the music, the setting, everything about
I
it.
liked
love
it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I'm like, it's all right. I didn't like where it ended. I still don't like where it ended, but I don't know. Watched it at home.
It's got that space opera like epic feel to it.
Dude,
Like,
it has got the best
great.
transfer, like for a 4K, for fucking sound on it. It's amazing. It is brilliant.
And the visual effects are fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Like those ships.
Somebody
the
said Dune. Here
worm.
comes Nerd Cookies.
Hi,
Somebody say
Nerd
Dune.
Cookies.
She even said it.
Yeah, there you go.
Someone say Dune.
There you go.
Hail Nerd Cookies. All right, let's talk about let's talk about Ant-Man and the real superhero fatigue that's sitting in. So I mean, these aren't the best. Well, no, let me take that back. Ant-Man's not the best example of like getting excited. It's been the MCU, even with the run up to Endgame and Infinity War, it didn't do well. It made about 600+ million worldwide. Wasp and Ant-Man. I call it that on purpose because it was Wasp and Ant-Man. I like the first Ant-Man movie. I thought it was okay. If Edgar Wright had directed it, it would have been better. This looks like a hot mess, and like I just don't think it's just too much. I think people don't care. The opening weekend is predicted to be 120 million. I bet you it's a little below that. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then it'll have like a huge drop off. It'll have a 67% drop off by the second one. Same old Marvel. Meet the new phase, same as the old phase. I think the bigger news that nobody's talking about is the fact that nobody's talking about the DC reboot. Like,
Yeah,
it's
just
done.
quiet.
The conversation is over. It is like crickets, man. I think I have some crickets. Hang on. It's this. Those are real crickets, by the way. And that's a huge problem. I think that's a massive problem. But like, it's honestly, it's not James Gunn's fault until he announced that first chapter, and then it became his fault. But before that, you know, it was fucking around with Henry Cavill, getting rid of Henry Cavill, restarting DC since 2006. What, three? I mean, we'll say 2 major reboots and a soft one since 2006, since Superman Returns came out. And remember, they had big plans with that.
Batman versus Superman never happened. Just they've been fumbling and stumbling the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Over 10 years.
And the craziest thing is Warner Brothers has had complete control. Like, they could have had a cinematic universe in the 80s.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
It's embarrassing.
And it partially due to the licensing deal, but mostly due to stupidity. Just people not understanding it. Robert did a great live stream when he was mainly talking about Star Trek, and he was talking about like how Star Trek doesn't have an executive at Paramount, which is fucking insane. Well, they see their executive is Kurtzman, who is the worst person, but they don't have a person who like understands producing, marketing, and maybe a little bit of Star Trek. That might be helpful. Like Kevin Feige, I'm very critical of him. At least he understood Marvel in the beginning. You know, now that he's on his own, though, you see he had a lot of help. Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania first reactions from world premiere. Now this is like the shill of the shills, right? So these are like the only approved, like friendly Marvel people are invited to this thing. This isn't even like there's another screening. Chris, you said Monday, right? The press.
Yeah, I'm going to the
press screening. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to the press screening on Monday. It's me, Dante, and Alan, and then we'll do like a review the next day when the embargo breaks at 9, because whatever. But what's funny is how kind of tempered all of the responses are. They're not over the top praise, are they? I mean, none of them are. It's all sort of it's the template is you sort of say, I loved it, it's great, I really wish this, and then pointing out like 2 flaws or whatever, and then it's like, and then just overpraise. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like we've seen this kind of thing happen before. I think a lot of it just has to do with people are kind of done with Marvel, right? Like how do you top anything that happened in Endgame? Well, they're not doing it, and clearly someone must have recognized that Phase 4 was meandering. I think Gary, you watched that red carpet, the Ant-Man red carpet.
I did,
like
every second of it.
Well, same here, every second, and boy, there's some like embarrassing things that get said.
Okay, the host, that one, the one girl who was just really energetic. She's like, "Oh my god,
energetic!"
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know how you do it, Chris. The only reason I was sick, so I was incapable of doing anything else. So I just sat and watched that in horror. And this was like one of the tamest ones.
Yeah, I was working with it in the background. It's like those things are kind of cringe, but you get like, God, one of the best ones was Carrie Fisher for Force Awakens. She was just unhinged and it was great. Just look up clips of that. She's so good. But yeah, you get people sort of,
She's
you get
wasted.
like the weird...
She's freaking loaded on like a speedball, you know?
She
I mean, if
must
you
have
get
been.
somebody on the way up when they're loaded on a speedball, they can be incredibly funny and charming. Just watch out for that downhill slide.
True, but it's like those things are always, I never miss those because you always get people just like off script. At least the actors, the hosts are always terrible. Someone's in their ear with a little with
absolutely
a microphone.
awful.
Yeah.
Energy. It's like the Simpsons made fun of that when they would show like the NFL, Fox Sunday show. They'd make fun of the fact that everybody laughs at nothing. I mean, this is like that's just television. It's so phony and inauthentic.
Yeah.
It happens on every TV show. You see people that just sort of laughing at nothing, and everybody knows it's fake. It's and cringe. Having been in that world and seen that happen and had someone in my ear say energy, and you're just like, yeah, sure.
My favorite part, Chris, was they were trying to pass on all the cosplayers as they just showed up with their Ant-Man and their obscure characters from this movie that hasn't come out. And they're like, wow, they even dressed up as obscure characters from this movie. They pointed it out. It's like, you want us to believe those aren't paid actors right there. You've got to be kidding me. So that was cringe.
It was cringe. The costumes were not all that great. A lot of them looked store-bought and like cheap.
Yeah, that's why
they 100% are. Some PA had to go to Party City and pick up a bunch of these costumes and go, okay, everybody that showed up here, just put this on real quick. I was watching the Eternals red carpet whenever we did the Marvel video a couple videos ago.
One was gold.
And God, it was so good. And like, there's like a crowd of like 30 people packed really tight, so they look like there's a bunch of them, and they have like just the worst Party City costumes available. And it's like, nobody's coming dressed as Icarus. Nobody knows who that is.
No. Like there was the legit one Wasp costume, but people have been cosplaying Wasp forever, right?
Yes, yeah. She's a known character.
But like this guy had like this, this store-bought Kang thing with a perfect Kang.
Come on.
I'm like, come on. Stop it. What's up? Adrian Curry's here.
What's
How's
up?
it going?
Oh, Adrian. Oh,
lady.
love
I
Adrian.
saw you in the Tim Pool chat the other day.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's been fun.
That was a fun chat.
I was in the Tim Pool chat the other day.
Man, that was spicy.
It was spicy. I had to point out that he did write a multi-part article on her, Sorry. Not sorry. But this, like, it was totally inorganic and fake and inorganic and fake. And it looked like it was downsized, Chris, from the Eternals. The Eternals looked like a much bigger, grander affair. And this looked like they rented a tent and had Lunchables sponsor it. Did you see that Lunchables ant that they fucking made with the chicken nuggets and the pretzels? But they're fake. Like they did and this guy had to sell this Lunchable thing. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Play with
I think doing bad things to Harvey Weinstein might be better
Rough
than
times.
selling Lunchables.
But the cosplayers, I can confirm those cosplayers, they don't get paid cash necessarily, but they will get like goodie bags and entry to a screening of the movie. So they get to see the movie, but it's always in the overflow theater. They're never in like the main theater with the actors. So you've got the main theater with the actors and media. Then you've got the overflow theater with everyone else, the leftovers, so to speak. And they're mostly, that's how they're paid. But I didn't see like, there are like legit professional cosplayers like Bernie Bregman. And that guy, like when he cosplays, I don't even recognize him. That's how good he is. And then, but most of the people there, I thought, like, where do they find these people? And also,
they're trying to ape that culture.
Casting agencies.
They're trying to ape the passionate fans.
Yeah,
be
they
like,
do.
oh look, they're passionate fans here, but there's not.
Lance,
Which
I've
is
been
fine.
called a
Stream
bot since I got here. Just
Really?
want to point that out. Yeah, everybody remember the Russian bots? Remember, like this is a real article, folks.
Yeah.
Like how insane Disney was pushing. Like Disney, this came directly from Disney marketing. That the criticism of The Last Jedi was a Russian bot farm to sow discourse in American culture.
Yeah,
that's what they were pushing.
Hi,
Who
Yellow
was I?
Flash.
What's up, Yellow Flash? Wow, star-studded.
Hey, Yellow
chat
Flash.
today. Look at you. It's always a
Yeah.
star-studded chat.
Hey. Yellow Flash is here. I love it.
He is. What's up, Yellow?
Love your
Yellow
show.
Flash had. I was like, I got the deluxe version of Harry Potter and it's not loading because I saw him complaining. He's all just refresh your browser.
Yeah, you gotta refresh.
Are you plugged in?
Turn it off and turn it back on again.
Yeah.
Gary, I watched the
And then I had to
stream.
secretly ask I'm like, which controller should I use? Should I use the Xbox one? And he's like, use the Xbox one.
Use the Xbox. Yeah.
That's so endearing.
Gary, was I think it was a couple weeks ago, you were on Flashcast on Saturday night. It was just you and Yellow Flash, pretty much just talking comics. That should be a show. The deep knowledge. It was just so great to see you guys go at it. Like comic books that you had, like different runs with artists. Like you need to turn that in. That was gold. That was so good. And it was refreshing to get away from the, just the gossip, the YouTube gossip that goes around.
I had so much fun. It was great. I'm
That
going
was
to read House of
so
M
good.
because of him. And hopefully he's going to, he said he bought it. He's going to get Annihilation, which is awesome. So yeah, I've been breaking out my old comics and reading them, and it's been wonderful because I haven't had a lot to do because Last of Us is kind of boring. But I didn't play the game. And again, I am not into post-apocalyptic zombie stories. I find them boring as hell. Unless they're fun, like Zombieland's fun. Zombieland's fun.
Yeah.
It was fun in the
Return
beginning,
of the Living
but
Dead.
they've really just overplayed that trope. Yeah. It's kind of really boring, like comic book movies are now.
House of M is the shit. Yellow Flash, it's brilliant. It's good stuff. Like there was House of M, there's Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, Annihilation, Civil War. It ends in a Captain America comic. So as a retailer, it pissed me off, dude. The end of that big crossover happened in a comic that they didn't tell us anything about. We got some weird Facebook post it was like the night before cutoff, stating you don't want to pass. It was from the writer, right?
Such a weird way to end it.
Like Marvel doesn't tell us, the publisher doesn't tell us, the distributor doesn't tell us. The writer goes, you might want to up your orders. So I upped them a little bit. Like I wasn't sure what the hell he's talking about. So I get to work, Flash, and there's a fucking, and this is the first time it happened. There was a line outside my door. I'm like, what the hell? And they're like, did you hear him? No. And it blasted out on CNN that morning that Captain America died. I'm like, mother
damn
fucker. So like it was sold out in a second. I was pissed. So yeah. And that's honestly, they kind of went back to the Death of Superman thing, and that's what really started we can grab headlines when we kill a character, and then they started killing them too much. They're like, oh, now we can make them like gay and grab headlines.
Yeah,
and that's what started that crap. Brubaker, yeah, it was Brubaker put up like a cryptic message on Facebook the week before we had cut off, so we can go and adjust our orders like a week or 2 weeks in advance. Based on speculation or whatever, or if they add variants. And yeah, I mean, I appreciate Brubaker. That's all he could do was give us, he wasn't allowed to be more specific. I still thought it was messed up. It was dumb. It was totally dumb. They
could have sold way more.
They could have sold way more. And it's such small-minded thinking. It's like, no, we'll get the speculators and the hype, and then we'll do a second print that won't sell as much.
Dumb.
Yes, I used to own a comic book store, Trevor. Okay, so back to Ant-Man. Quite frankly, a comic book that never sold. Irredeemable Ant-Man by Kirkman was good. That was a good little run. But that was awful Ant-Man. The movies, like, as one person put it on Twitter, this isn't a complete movie with a beginning, middle, and end. This is episode 1 of phase 5. So it doesn't have anything to do with the previous 2 Ant-Man films, just like Doctor Strange had nothing to do with the previous Doctor Strange film. It was a sequel to WandaVision. Well, this is a sequel to Loki. And when we get to Scotty Mendelson, if Scotty Mendelson is ripping your movie, that is bad. This guy likes cuties and everything from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He featured heavily in one of my videos where he said we should start worrying about Marvel if Wakanda Forever does 650 million. Well, it did 100 million over that, but not much. It's like maybe you should start worrying about Marvel. So let's get down to the reviews. The bunch of this is like it stars Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly and blah, 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 blah. So we got some good ones. Like, oh my God, phase 5 has begun. The new Ant-Man movie is like a psychedelic roller coaster full of frightening and hilarious oddities, plus very menacing Kang. You're going to hear that a lot, by the way. Big Star Wars vibes meets the MCU at its freakiest and most inventive. MODOK is a riot, but Jonathan Majors conquers. Love that ride. Of course, you're going to get tons of Jonathan Majors praise. I thought he was terrible as He Who Remains in Loki. He looks a little better in the trailer. Quite frankly, he looks like Kang. So
that performance was out of character for what else? The other things I've seen him in, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Creed 3, which I'm probably not gonna watch because Sly's not in it. But
that performance was like off the wall and strange, and I don't know.
He looks like can he pull off intimidating? Sure. I mean, that's I guess the most important part. Could he maybe make something interesting out of Kang, Kang is not a singular character. There's multiple different versions of Kang. There's Kang Prime, there's Rama Tut, down Iron Lad, He Who Remains, the descendant of Reed Richards. I mean, there's just a bunch of Kangs. And they have the Council of Kangs, which they made fun of in Rick and Morty with the Council of Ricks. There's also been a Council of Reeds. But yeah, I just, it's not. If he was a precursor to another bigger villain, it would work better. But honestly, they could if you wanted to introduce Warlock now, which is way too late for Infinity Gauntlet, then you adapt Annihilation properly. And then you could introduce Nova, and all, Quasar, all kinds of characters. Ant-Man and the Quant is the best of the trilogy. Higher stakes, danger, and repercussions. It also got one of the best MCU villains in Kang. So better than
Loki? Better than Loki? Better than
Thanos?
Thor. Better than Thanos.
Red Skull was actually pretty good.
He was damn good.
Kingpin and Daredevil is the best. It's the best in the Netflix Daredevil. That's your best Marvel villain. As soon as Jonathan Majors comes in, it's his show. Kang is scary, lean, mean, multiverse, big baddie. Also, 2 cool post-scene credits. Oh, see, that's when I start. That's the red flag.
Yeah,
the movie's awesome, and oh my god, we can't wait till the next thing, the next Disney Marvel thing. Scroll down. I think we get. There comes a point where every franchise has to get weird. Wouldn't you say that's what Phase 4 was trying to do? Was be weird?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like, let's experiment. The brand is so well beloved, we can put out anything. And that was true to a certain point. And I also think the quote, I put pandemic in quotes, but with movie theaters not being fully open, like, yeah, that affected it. You can use that excuse for a little bit, but I think it's, they just thought the Marvel brand was so strong they could throw anything at it. And I don't know. I think it was a mistake. I think that's what's interesting about what James Gunn is doing with his whatever the Gods and Monsters phase of DC is. I think what he's doing is he's introducing obscurity early, so it doesn't seem like a shock if he just plays out the story of, the Holy Trinity and then just throws in some obscure characters at the end. He's just peppering them in at the beginning. So I don't know. I feel like, but you're right, Gary. There's been like no enthusiasm. Just, okay, great announcement. Let us know when you have a Superman movie or some news.
Yeah.
See you later.
It was a fumble of an announcement. Like,
how do you like
in the announcement? He was like, it all hinges on Superman. But nobody heard that because they heard Creature Commandos first.
No.
And the Waller show first.
How do you like this theory? So Chris Gore?
Yes.
James Gunn. See, I'm sick. James Gunn was involved in the Marvel phases creatively. He helped direct them. He was a huge part of Phase 3. Then he got fired. And you felt his absence. What if, because it would make way more sense, Gods and Monsters was supposed to be Phase 4 of Marvel.
Oh.
Phase 5. Because they're introducing a lot more gods and monsters. And what if you just repurposed it for DC, which would be so funny. But it would make more sense because we're introducing the more galactic and more, with Ghost Rider supposedly coming. We got Blade coming. Yeah.
They can find a director.
Be purposed. It's just a theory in my head. I don't know. Could be nothing. Okay, so it gets weird. Like all his roles, Jonathan Majors remains endlessly compelling. So Jonathan Majors, awesome. It's definitely Marvel's weirdest movie yet, but that's a good thing. It leans hard into the sci-fi side of the MCU, taking lots of wild swings. Not everything lands, but it's funny, inventive, and a good time. An enjoyable, bizarro ride into the quantum realm. Okay. Sounds forgettable.
It's our
You know,
first cracks in the facade.
My favorite
there.
part of the red carpet was when Evangeline Lilly, we talked about it yesterday, when she talks about Janet Van Dyne being gone for 30 years. And she comes back and she's a little standoffish to her daughter. I'm like, okay, that sounds about right. Like somebody, just getting out of prison or a POW or something like that. They'd have some trauma, some PTSD. Nope, she's totally heading a foundation that's conquering homelessness and global warming.
Oh God! No.
I was like, what?
Stop it!
Oh. So she's a standoffish mother, but she can still be a girl boss. Had a blast with Quantum Mania. Jonathan Majors is awesome, but the real star of the film is Jeff Loveness' script, a reminder of how beautifully and strange, mysterious the MCU still is. Oh boy, that was kissing some ass there.
Yeah, that was.
After a frustratingly rough Act 1, Ant-Man Quantumania. Oh, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Man, that's a mouthful of a hashtag. Jesus.
Phase 4 and going on, these titles are getting longer and dumber.
Just call
Thor,
it
Love and
Quantumania.
Thunder, Mountains of Mama, Mountainous, like Quantumania Mania.
I like the longer titles. I like an original title. It's better than calling it the Ant-Man.
That's true. I think there's a sweet spot in the middle that you need to find.
I agree. Yeah. So, and it's better than just throwing a number.
How about Ant-Man Quantumania?
That's better.
That's even better. It's actually
but
better.
They can't do that. They can't do that.
I'll be like, more people know Wasp than Ant-Man. She was around a lot longer, and he changed it. He was Giant Man. He was Yellow Jacket, and I liked him better as Yellow Jacket. I thought it was just a better costume, better powers. Finally gets going, only to end where the story should have began. Ooh. While the external stakes are clear and weighty, emotional drive felt slight, and levity felt lighter, even lighter. So there wasn't any, which might be good. There wasn't any Marvel jokes, or were the jokes too light? I'm not really sure what you meant by that. That said, Jonathan Majors rules. Everybody's got to get their compliment of Jonathan Majors, or you're
I'm not racist. I'm not racist. Jonathan Majors was awesome.
I love Jonathan Majors, even though this movie was a total piece of shit. Thanos was the appetizer while Jonathan. Oh, come on.
Come on.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. Break out the chapstick. That knob needs some polishing.
Man.
Holy shit. Thanos was just the appetizer while Jonathan Majors, Kang the Conqueror, is the main course. I bet you'd like him to be your main course. Majors plays Kang with brilliance and confidence, a menacing and cunning villain with a hint of charm. Kang dominates. He dominates physically and mentally. Wow.
Wow.
Somebody really likes Jonathan Majors. Okay. Not judging. Hey, look. Jonathan Majors is a force, and Ant-Man. This is like absolute triumph.
This is absolute triumph.
Oh.
It seems like somebody was given some notes. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. He's compelling, chilling, and already giving a top-notch performance. I love the complexity he brings to Kang with literally a single look. MCU really won with this casting. I hope he's great.
Really building him up.
Okay. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which was supposed to be in phase 4 all along. They just delayed it. Because of reshoots. Starts phase 5 with a bang, playing like Star Wars-esque epic. Sometime we've heard it. Space opera. Jonathan Majors is truly haunting as Kang, on course to be scarier. To be scarier threat than Thanos, and has all the makings of an iconic cinematic villain. Now, remember that word, iconic. Remember when Kevin Feige came out and said, we're going to introduce the new iconic villain, Kang?
Yeah.
I think I'm not saying that, they don't get notes. But I think they just, amongst the shills talking to themselves, they say very, very similar things. Like when we saw with Shang-Chi, Absolute Triumph rolled out 4 or 5 times. It just doesn't happen naturally. Scroll down. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania has 2 very important aspects. Jonathan Majors. Oh, look, they lowered the jokes times 20. That's good. That's good.
All right.
That's good.
More
That's
serious.
good. That means they're listening. Okay. That is the number 1 criticism of every single person. Like whatever side of the aisle you're on, that is the number 1 criticism. Well, on our side, it's woke shit filled with intersectional feminism, but the jokes suck. It's like, and it's every second, and there's no moments. There's no serious moments anymore because they're always like, it's like there's an algorithm out there that says we don't want people feeling bad or sad for longer than 3.5 seconds. We need to insert a joke. And Jonathan Majors is incredible as Kang the Conqueror. Kang is the villain that we should almost do like that in our video. Anything somebody says something about ding, just count it.
Yeah.
Kang, I love in the last video, I was going to tell you to do the numbering and you did it on your own.
Yeah, baby.
See?
That's right. Same
so
wavelength.
Kang is the villain that the MCU really needed. Thank you, Majors, for elevating my expectations. Phase 5 looks promising. Well, I'll say out of all the trailers I've seen, he's been the best thing in them. He has.
Yes.
But it's just because he's being a very serious villain.
He's got resting
like,
villain face.
Going to conquer and take over things. And with, like that. That's all I need. I don't need to understand him or see his abuse as a child. It's like, God, stop. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania as well balanced and fast-paced. I love the father-daughter moments in the movie. Jonathan Majors is the best Kang. With Black Panther and now Ant-Man and the Wasp, it feels like Marvel Studios is back on track. Excited to see that again. Does it feel like they're back on track?
Let's slow the horse here, okay? Like, let's not jump into this yet.
Did you guys see that final battle in Wakanda Forever? Does that feel back on track? It doesn't. Feels off track.
I love how MCU can go off track for like 6 shows and 12 movies, and then they go, one movie good. Oh, it's back on track. Look at that.
Back on track.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
Well, but at least it seems like they're on track in terms of like leading to something, leading to a villain. But this is what's annoying. We know because of what they've laid out for the plan, right? That it's going to lead to a big showdown with Kang. So this is just Ant-Man meets Kang, the movie, and I'm just, this is a prediction. I haven't seen it. The battle ends in a draw. I mean, that's my prediction. Certainly,
well, Kang could die.
Are they setting Kang up?
Kang could die, and you just get another Kang.
Are they setting Kang up like Loki was for Thanos? Like he's the first villain setting up for the Thanos-esque villain down the road?
Sure. That's, I guess,
that could be what they're doing.
So here's some news we got to. So Kevin Feige let something spill accidentally on the red carpet. It's not a big. There's going to be multiple Kangs. So this Kang is probably going to die. Considering what Scotty Mendelson says, he's either going to be thwarted heavily or die. But we already know from Loki, there's multiple Kangs. Because Sylvie, just in case, you have to watch Loki now to understand Phase 5. And like there was all these multiverses that they could have at any point in Doctor Strange, in Spider-Man, and even in Thor, you could have put Kang in and a stinger, especially with the 2 stories that dealt heavily with the multiverse, and you didn't put Kang in at all. Like that makes no sense, or at least a minion of Kang, MODOK somewhere, something, even if they're in the quantum realm, you can, like maybe there's some like detector, there's signal going, the multiverse is fractured, something which shows they didn't have a plan at all. And they're going to connect it with Shang-Chi too. Like, where did he get the rings? Apparently, everything's going to be Kang. So, and let's not forget that prior to the last episode of Loki, everything that happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was Kang's will, as he wrote it, which is stupid, which is utterly stupid. I can't even paraphrase it. Bounding into Comics wrote an article about Marvel, and they brought up a Tolkien quote about magic, and I'm paraphrasing badly. Don't clown the magic in your own story, because when you do that, then the reader is not going to take it seriously, and we're not going to take your story seriously. Yep. Love or hate the Snyder Cut. The one thing the Snyder fans liked about it was there was a seriousness with the superheroes. They weren't like just joking. It wasn't like tongue in cheek. It didn't look like it was made by somebody who hates superheroes. You might not like their take, but they didn't hate superheroes. And I watched it again recently, and I noticed how long Henry Cavill was in that movie without a shirt on. I was like, oh shit. He's like half the time in this movie.
A long time.
A long time.
Oh, wait, what movie was this again?
It was the third hour. It was the third hour of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, okay.
You want a timestamp?
I'll figure it out.
I'm sure there are plenty of Henry Simps who can provide it for you right now on Twitter.
Hi, Anna.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is a visual feast packed with surprises, big and small. A wild ride from start to finish. Jonathan Majors conquers.
Ding, ding, ding.
I need a ding. I need a ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get a ding. There you go. That worked.
That's all I have.
More ominous.
Dynasty is here. Paul Rudd is lovable as ever. 2 post-credit scenes. Okay. Let me guess. Jonathan Majors is brilliant. Shows us that Kang is here to dominate. Jonathan Majors is a threat that will hopefully shake the core of the MCU. It works best when the team is together, but pacing and story suffer from when they're apart. Wish this stuck with me more. Ooh. These are the shill of the shills. These aren't just regular shills. These are the shill of the shills. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is a blast and finally answers some where is the MCU going questions. Oh, you mean it's the beginning of phase 5? But wait a minute. I thought this was always the plan. Didn't Kevin Feige kind of insinuate that on the red carpet, Chris? And he's like, well, we naturally had to start Ant-Man with as phase 5 because we started WandaVision with phase 4. And it's like, what? None of those were supposed to start those phases. Takes a minute. Oh, go on, Chris.
No. I just think that, there wasn't a clear direction for phase 4 other than introduce characters that don't have the sort of legacy that the other Marvel characters have had, right? The decades of recognition. I guess you could say Shang-Chi has that, but I mean, it's such a weak representation of better movies. So we've talked about that enough, but I don't know, but just my enthusiasm for Marvel stuff is just not there like it used to be. So, and I love this stuff. I mean, if I was a kid and you told me they're going to make a third Ant-Man movie, you mean there was a first and a second Ant-Man movie?
Yeah, that would have blown. That's crazy.
Would have blown my mind as a kid, but like, I just don't get that feeling anymore. Also, when there's just like constant news about Disney and how much effectively the creatives behind the scenes kind of despise members of the audience, it's deflated my enthusiasm.
Yep.
And what I have heard about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is that it was noted to death. You can feel the notes that the original ending was changed. It was supposed to have a darker ending. I'm going to guess Ant-Man died or sacrificed himself to save everyone.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So what you've got is something that will feel compromised. I mean, it's something that just like knowing the people that work in those positions, you can kind of know the kind of notes they're giving. And then it just feels like it's just a little late. We're throwing in Kang. I finally watched, actually last night, I watched the last episode of Loki. Kind of slow, it's interesting. But the fact that I need to watch that to kind of at least get some glimpse into what's going on in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania just seems ridiculous. And also, what are the stakes if there are so many different Kangs? Then
Who cares? Like,
yeah, who cares?
who cares?
Well, did you hear the
Hydra.
line in the one trailer? Have I killed you before?
Right.
So Kang asked Ant-Man if he killed him before. So that's the biggest thing. Like, multiverses are fucking dumb. Okay, they're a gimmick from the comics to help clean up messes. DC took full advantage of it. Marvel kind of stayed away from it for the most part, and that's what I liked. Like, Marvel's continuity was never clean, but it was continuous. And they had to retcon some stuff in crazy ways, but it was continuous. I would much rather they do that than reset all the time, especially as a comic book collector, because that's why Marvel comics, quite frankly, or their back issues are worth a lot more than DC comics. A lot more.
Yeah.
Especially in the Silver Age, you know.
I mean, to me, I love the just original Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yep.
That run was so good. The crossover, like, I don't think anything like that had ever been done before. And the fact that it kind of, quote, fixed the timeline was fine. And just seeing all the different, like, you know, Robin from Earth 2. And you always love it. It's like, wait a sec, he has yellow boots or whatever.
Because it was like a novel idea.
It was new and different.
Then.
It was a novel idea that's now been overdone.
And the MCU did it 4 times in the same phase. Like, they ran that down,
dude.
And like, none of it was connected. Like, man.
They never did that crap with Spider-Man. And look at Spider-Man now. There's a Spider-Man family. It's stupid.
Right.
Spider-Man was like I really had a problem. Flash is still out there with Spider-Man joining the Avengers. I was like, no, Spider-Man does not join teams. He does not join teams. Like, they made it work. And it was fine, but I knew, like, that was it. Then when Spider Island and fucking Spider this, Spider that, it's just you know, Peter Parker was always kind of a loner, you know. He would jump in to other titles, but no, he was too busy, you know, trying to live his normal life and be Spider-Man to join some freaking team. Let's go to Scotty Mendelson stuff. This is all, yeah.
Here we
go. Scotty Mendelson.
Did
you hear about the Fantastic Four news we heard? Yeah, please share it.
Yeah, can you pull that up? I'm blocked.
Fantastic Four news. No casting.
Yes.
They're early on in the process, and it will be released in April. This will be delayed 5 times, by the way, but April of 2025. It was supposed to be in Phase 4, by the way. It was announced. It was announced back in Disney's Investor Summit during COVID in 2020. So they haven't cast yet. We all know what the cast is going to look like. And it's not going to look like the Fantastic Four. It's
no way in hell.
And it's coming out at before, I believe, the final Avengers movie after the Kang Dynasty, and then there's Secret Wars. You might as well just wait and just relaunch your entire universe with the X-Men and Fantastic Four in it instead of bringing them in at the tail end. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm almost positive they're good. Like, this is a theory that's been out there forever, but you make the Fantastic Four a period piece, just like you did with Captain America. So, like, maybe their story starts out in the 60s, they get trapped in the negative zone, they come back. It's current year. So, yes, it will be very, very, very. It will be a Fantastic Four updated for modern audiences.
Fantastic Four?
Pass.
The Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four thing.
There's been a lot of people rumored for Mr. Fantastic. Have you heard the latest rumor?
What?
No.
Gary?
I just cracked myself up there.
Dev Patel as Mr. Fantastic. Do you know who Dev Patel is?
Yes. You've got to be kidding me.
First of all, I like him as an actor. I think
he's a great actor. He's a fantastic actor. And in the Green Knight, it was freaking awesome. He was great.
He's great, but no.
It's Mr. Fantastic.
Adam Driver was rumored for Fantastic.
Oh, that would be bad too. That's terrible.
Yeah. Just these are rumors. but the director claims all those rumors are fan casting and not, there is no truth to any of the casting rumors. But I think that that's really going to be telling when they announce Marvel's first family.
That'll tell you the entire tone for everything that comes after it. I mean, everything leading up to it has told us the tone of what the casting's going to be. You already know.
That's probably why they put it off. They were maybe like Disney was. I would love to believe that Disney was trying to wait out woke Hollywood, but they are woke Hollywood. They are the pinnacle of woke Hollywood.
Yeah.
So Scotty Mendelson, big Cuties fan, starred in one of my videos. Defender of all things Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel, who no longer works at Forbes and apparently no longer reviews films. He mentions that in his thread. Says, my son changed his mind at the last minute and skipped. He's got a son. Good. Last minute and skipped seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania tonight. He sadly had the right idea. Ooh. Ouch.
Anti-Man and the Wasp. That's sad.
And what did they say? Was Jonathan Majors at least good? That's honestly all I really care about. As good as he can be, it's very boring character. He's far from engrossing in Loki. I don't think that was very engrossing. It says, must be good then, because the trend now is to hate the Marvel movies and get more clicks with those juicy it's bad headlines. I don't review movies anymore. So he responds to Ramos's tweet. I don't think this is it. So did you hit the link in there, X-Ray Girl? You should see Scotty Mendelson's. He responds somewhere to this. Jonathan.
So he responds to this tweet.
Yeah. Scroll down and see if you can find it.
I'm blocked. I don't know if I can see it.
I don't know if I can see it either.
1 second. I can try.
So if you could find it, I'll keep this up so we can at least see the.
Yeah.
This shill, my God, if you've ever followed or seen this guy on Twitter, and he is the shilliest of the shills.
He's got his Marvel pom-poms out. So is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is truly an episode 1 of what is sure to be a crazy cinematic series. You have to enjoy this movie more than an episode of something greater rather than its own standalone film that concludes a trilogy. What Scotty Mendelson responds to is, this movie's pointless. It ends like if you saw the last episode of Loki, you're fine. It changes nothing. It changes absolutely nothing, which I think is very telling. He does say Ramos says MODOK was done dirty. And there's 2 post-credit scenes. Excuse me.
Find it.
Jonathan Majors is him and is the standout.
Of course. Can't find it. Maybe he deleted it. But Ryan did a video on it. He's got the screen.
I'm going to do the dings every time they say Jonathan Majors is great. Ding. And then also I'm going to put in, did you get that memo?
Did you get? Yeah.
Did you get the memo?
Get the memo.
Gary, I haven't seen the movie, but I have a complaint already because they've released a lot of clips. There are new trailers, and it looks at least, interesting as compared to the previous trailers. But there's something that bothers me. This is a Marvel thing, and I have to point it out. Does anyone just put a freaking helmet on anymore?
I know.
I'm so tired.
There's no masks, no helmets, nothing.
I don't even know how they do it. It's just like a click and then a little nanobot, I guess, I assume. But everybody has the same technology now. It used to be unique to Tony Stark that all the movies had like a different, each character had kind of their universe. This would only happen in the Thor universe or whatever. And it's just it's tiresome. It's lazy. It's become a Marvel thing. And there's a sameness to the films that I think is just irritating. Again, I haven't even seen the movie. I'm telling you things that I'm pre-writing my review in my head because of just stuff that I've seen. But I'm tired of this thing. It used to be just, okay, Tony Stark can do that. No one else gets to do that. You got to put your helmet on. You can't just like click some unseen thing around your neck and have the helmet just appear? What if your finger is there and the tip of your finger gets chopped off?
Well, a lot of the
You're
times
not-
they don't even do the
like,
click. The
my
the helmet
God.
just comes right off because they want to see the actor's face, and it's like, these are superheroes, man. Put the helmet and the mask back on.
Yeah, I only need to see Batman's lower half of his nostrils and his chin. I could care about it.
Like, we know who is under there. We don't need to see them every 2 seconds. Dredd.
Exactly.
Like, man, in Judge Dredd, if Sylvester Stallone kept that helmet on, we know who Sylvester Stallone is. We're not guessing, oh, who is that? I don't know who that is. It's Sylvester Stallone, all right?
That helmet thing is just, it's annoying because it's overused. It's not impressive anymore. It's annoying. And they have to, I mean, you know, we were talking about this, Gary, when you brought up the Bacta tank in, I forget what it was, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
It's like, where are the new ideas? Where's the innovation? Show me something I've never seen before. Right. And I don't know, just that thing is just, now it's just gotten, it's lazy to me. It's lazy.
Yep.
It is. Shock 2957 for 19.99 says pitch meeting for Velma is better than anything Velma. I agree. It's very good.
Pitch meetings are great.
They are, for the most part.
Barely an inconvenience.
Barely an inconvenience. I know, new ideas. Right. So Scotty, I guess we can't find that, but Scotty calls it out and says basically the movie's pointless. And I think that's what that other lady was saying. And she was like, yeah, it gets going finally. And then it ends right where it should have started. So it sounds like it resets everything at the end. Guess we'll find out. But I'm just not seeing the energy for this movie at all, good or bad. It's just, after phase 5, after a horrible phase 4, you start out with freaking Ant-Man. Like, why not start with Guardians? That would be the one thing I would start with. It's in a couple Guardians in what, 3 months. I would
just wait till then.
I'd wait and start with Guardians. That's insane. But everything they do is insane, and they, just have their head in the sand. Everything's fine. Okay. That sounds good to me. Hang on. Let's get this up here. Dragon Sworn for $20. Chris, how are movies distributed to theaters? What would it take to get independent / non-blockbuster movies into theaters nationwide? Asked Dragon Sworn for $20.
Well, that's easy. You should follow Fathom Events. They do a lot of things like that. I am seeing, for example, it's an indie horror film made for $60,000. It's opening wide in theaters via Fathom Events. And you can contact Fathom Events, actually. If you message me, actually, you have a movie, just go to filmthreat.com/contact. I'll give you the contact of the person at Fathom Events. But that movie was made for $60,000, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
And I have tickets to see it on the 15th of February. I am going to see it. I know it's going to be cheesy. I know it's good, but I love the idea that Disney doesn't have the IP anymore. It's
the original Harry Potter. It's stuck in my head. Winnie the Pooh books. They're public domain.
They're public domain, so anybody can do this.
So is Batman, by the way.
So
the very first Batman appearance.
And then also there are independent theaters across the country. Like my movie is playing in a theater
3 years.
at the end of April, at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana. So you just have to know indie theaters, and I would just say broaden your, you got to go beyond like the big mainstream theater. Find like an indie movie house, or just follow Fathom Events on social media, because I buy a lot of tickets to stuff that they do. They do, like, I saw The Dark Crystal, in theaters. I don't know. I saw Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
It's like Ghostbusters
in 4K. Yeah, exactly. Like so the Fathom Events is like retro, older classic films, and then a lot of weird new indie films. So yeah, that's my advice. And if you have a movie you want to get into theaters, contact Fathom Events. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you can rent out theaters too, and they have a list of movies you can play for parties and stuff.
Yep.
I think that's a good idea. We might do that in Vegas.
It's not even that much. It's like $200. If you have like a group of people, you can chop
Yeah.
that up and it'd be pretty affordable.
Yeah, as one of our sub meetups, we might do that in Vegas.
Yeah,
That or mini golf. Not sure. Or both. Why not?
Why not both?
Why not both? Vegas. April 26th. Millennium Fandom Bar is the meetup date, but I'm going to be there all week, and that's during CinemaCon. So we'll get to hang out with the Shills.
We might find him on the streets.
I find them on the street.
Yeah.
Go Shill. No, just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Shit.
I get in trouble for even saying that.
It's Matt Ramos.
9 hours Lord of the Rings back to back. A gamer word. Threatened me with a
dude.
good time.
I'm there.
Amazing.
Dude, I forgot to tell you. Remember when we were doing the Nooner and that guy said, hey, they're releasing the movies again. I bought the ticket, got my kids. I was like, hey, kids, cancel your gymnastics. We're going to the show. And they're like, hell yeah, let's go. Well, they didn't say that, but I said, hell yeah, let's go. We drove there. It was an hour, 30 minutes away. Got there, sat down in our seats. We're about to order. Manager comes in and goes, sorry, guys, the projector's broken. We can't show the movie. No. He was like, and there's no other theater we could put it in. It's a one-time showing. We can't even put it in a different time. We were all so mad. We were so mad.
I would have been so pissed. Oh my God.
My kids,
I've been out. No, you get
You're
a
gonna
screwdriver and a wrench and you fix that thing right now.
I had half of mine was like, can
Call
I go up there
IT.
and look at that? I'm gonna go look at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Man,
like,
I
was
was
it a
so
film
mad.
projector or a projector?
I think it was a digital projector.
digital projector. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was
Did you ask him
very.
if it was plugged in?
Turn it off, turn it back on.
You turned out. Yeah, that's terrible.
Man,
my
it was
God.
rough.
Oh,
Had to go home and watch it on my own.
3 hours wasted. That's
Yep,
one
very
movie right
sorry to hear
there.
that.
So
Why
sad.
is this up? Hang on, sorry. One of my editing programs is up. It's not supposed to be. Go away. No, go away.
But that kind of goes into like I don't know if you saw this, but AMC's now charging higher prices for better seats. So whenever you go to that seat picker and it's
Yep.
right in the middle where you want to sit, those are now going to be like triple the price.
Now, apparently they already do that in Europe. Is that true? Europeans,
Is that a thing? God, that
not
sucks.
non-indigenous Europeans, by the way. I
Uh,
don't know if you saw that going around today.
Non-indigenous.
Well,
I-
the Sami people in Sweden. I'm
Oh,
I'm
we
not
got
saying
some
it right.
yeses. Yeah.
It is.
Not
that
in
is,
Greece.
Well,
That takes away all of the magic, at least for me, is like going there, buying a ticket, being the first person to show up, and you could pick any seat you want. They took that away years ago. And now you got to pay extra for the middle seat.
This is like an airplane, but opposite.
yeah,
I'm
and
not-
this is not a good time for theaters to do this. Like you're already going to be
Oh, it's a terrible time. Well, okay.
commodity.
It's not like Hollywood's done the theaters any favors. Like they were forced to do this because there hasn't been like Avatar's been out forever. It's been the #1 movie and nobody's fucking talking about it anymore. It's just the only thing that's out right now, quite frankly. And then the other stuff we get is Plane or Megan, which is streaming. And I don't understand if we're gonna have streaming, do a pay-per-view. They almost did this once.
They should
Chris,
do that.
with Transformers. With the first Transformers movie, they were I remember them talking about doing a $50 pay-per-view event per household for that movie. They scrapped it, but they were going to do it. They were thinking about it. That would be better than just streaming day of, but you need to have better films out. That's
Truly.
the problem.
Mhm.
They put all their money and time and effort into streaming and forgot to make movies. They're
True.
screwed.
It's like, okay, so you make crap on streaming services and I have to pay extra to get a good seat that's not going to break my neck. I'm just going to stay home and watch the DVDs that I already have. Like, I'll
Mhm.
just watch that because there's no point in going to the movie theater if all of the magic of going to a movie theater is gone.
It is. And now they're so small, which I don't mind. But it's like being in your home theater.
Honestly, yeah.
And after Ant-Man, what else is there after that? Can you think of anything, Chris?
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine
Okay.
Bear. No, March is going to be pretty good. I mean, Creed 3 is coming out. I hear that's going to be really good. Jonathan Majors is in that. He's in everything now.
He's Jonathan Majors is fantastic.
I had a random nerd question pop in my head the other day. Are there any more live action Batman or Superman actors? I started with George and Adam. Not sure if I missed any, but they both ended at 8, I think. 8. Well, George Reeves dead, Adam West dead. That was my first Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
Everybody else still around?
Keaton, Kilmer, George.
Link fan, thank you for the $25 on the Streamlabs side. Yeah, everybody else is still around, as far as I know.
I think he's meaning like how many people have played that character. What's the highest number?
Oh, what's the highest number?
Actors have
Okay,
played one character.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Batman's at 8, right? No, Batman's at 9.
There was a serial. There was the serial for Batman.
Right, yeah. So
there's a serial.
Serial,
with Superman,
Adam
there's a
West.
lot because there was 2 Superboys, which you can count as a Superman. That was a TV show.
There's been several
Lois and
TV
Clark,
shows. Yeah.
Smallville, then Superman and Lois, and then Brandon Routh came back and played another version of Superman. Brandon Routh version. Yeah, there's a lot of Superman.
It's a good question.
It is.
I like that question. I actually attended that the kind of the wake tribute to Adam West. It was outside of LA City Hall, which was actually, featured in the 66 Adam West Batman TV series. It's all sort of iconic LA architecture and buildings from the time. But it was amazing. They actually took the original, 66 Batman, bat symbol and put it on City Hall. They projected it on there. It was just
Adam
amazing.
West was a treasure.
He was a treasure.
It really was, man.
Burt Ward was there. A lot of people gave little tributes, and it was cool to just be around a lot of people who just loved this person, not just the character he represented, how the character was portrayed, but who Adam West was as a person,
I met Adam West one time at a Comic-Con. I just waited in line for an hour and just shook his hand. And I didn't have anything to sign, whatever. And he was gracious all about that. I moved over and was talking to Burt Ward, and he made a joke on the guy that was right behind me. I don't know what it was, but just kind of a funny little joke. And then Adam West looked at me and gave me a wink. I was like, I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to meet anybody else. I was like, I don't even know what the joke was. It doesn't matter. He gave me a wink. It was awesome.
I met him as well at Meltdown Comics, which is since
good old Meltdown. Yeah.
Oh man, Meltdown was great. And
Melrose.
so they did this sort of tribute opening. It was when finally they got the license to the original 66 Batman TV series, and they rolled out the merch. Somehow I got invited to this, and it was just, there was Adam West, there was a 66 Batmobile in front of the store, and then they had all the merch out for that because it took them a while to kind of work out those details, right? But yeah, that was cool. And I still have, not the original one I had when I was a kid, the Corgi, that Corgi 66 Batmobile.
Yeah, I have.
You must have one, Gary.
Yes, I do.
And God, I played with that so much when I was a kid. I mean, it was just beat to shit. And then I found one, in a box, not necessarily mint, but bought it at a con. Well,
there just wasn't many of the little Batmobiles at all. Now you can get a 1/6 scale.
Yeah,
they did spinners too. They did spinners from Blade Runner. They did back in the day. They did
I want a
James
spinner.
Bond, Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Wow. Matthew Hammond for $20. Chris Gore was right about the menu. It was good. He was also right about Infinity Pool in that the people should not go see it. It had the premise of the 6th day and the prestige without a satisfying payoff.
Yeah, well, Mia Goth was, I thought, the best part of that movie. She should be considered to play Harley Quinn in the James Gunn's DC universe.
I've seen that same casting. I would agree. Yeah, she's got that crazed look about her. And she's a good
Lady
actress.
Gaga will be playing her in the Todd Phillips version too.
Yeah,
that won't be confusing at all.
It's fine with me.
And that's not counting the Batman, the Matt Reeves version. Yeah, it's gonna be a little crazy. Hale, love the show. Only if you do shout outs. My best friend is trying to reach 700 subs on his retro gaming channel, youtube.com/Frank Random. So it's Frank Random. Frank Random. And if you don't do shout outs, Gary, can you say roof? Woof, roof, roof. It always makes me laugh. Roof. Roof.
What? Why is it?
I don't know.
He
Roof.
says it with a U versus the O, like a roof.
Rough.
He says rough.
I say roof. I'm glad my lack of being able to speak English amuses you, Ben. Thank you for the $30.21.
That's just
Yes, I do
Ebonics.
shout outs. Whoever wants a shout out, I'll do it. I'll shout out. Anakmamon, abuser of Streamlabs for $5. You can't play HL or Hogwarts Legacy, Gary. Hogwarts is a massive castle filled with doors. Doors everywhere.
Literally.
It's pretty much nothing but doors. You're doomed. Aloha Mora, though. See, I know the charm to unlock a door and open it. I know
Well,
my
your
charms.
character.
I know my charms. Okay. I read the book
Stuck in the common room.
multiple times. I will be stuck in the comment room staring at. No, I shouldn't even
There
make that
is
joke.
no what's her face?
There's
Yennefer to stare at.
No Yennefer's ass to stare at while I'm
No.
stuck.
No.
Brian Doyle for $9.99. Hail all. Gary, please don't send me a notification later asking if I want to watch Gary's Hogwarts. Hogswarts.
Hogwarts.
The Hogswarts. Wait till you see the title. That'll be the best part of the stream. Trust me.
Just wait.
Mhm.
Bert for $5. I agree with Chris. Gary needs a regular show where he talks about comics. I have one. Bert. Flash needs to come on it though. So I'll tell Flash he should come on a Tuesday. The Flash cast was great to listen to. See you at the Vegas meetup. See you there. Yeah, we have Real BBC, which is our comic book show.
Mhm.
And we have Graham Nolan coming on Friday Night Tights in a couple weeks.
I believe it's next week.
Next week. So that's
Not
Okay.
this week, not next week, but the
That's-
week after.
okay. So 2 weeks from now.
Sorry.
It's next.
2.5
That's
weeks.
next week. This week is
This
right,
week is
so
this
you go
week.
this week, then
Next
next
week-
week,
Next week is
then
the
next
next
week,
week.
the
The
weekend
next
after
week
next. You
is
know,
the
Friday
next-
after next.
Who English is the best out of all of us?
I'm a
Definitely Chris.
bimbo.
Oh my god.
Jake Benoist for $9.99 says, "Hail to you, beautiful nerdy people! In terms of current franchises and original stories on film, what is better than John Wick right now? Mission Impossible is a reboot, right? It is.
Yeah.
Well, it's a continuation of the series. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah. Technically, it is a reboot.
Yeah.
But it's really well done with Tom Cruise. And man, that 2-part Mission Impossible movie coming up looks sick. I can't wait.
I need to do a watch through again.
Yeah,
of
me
all of
too.
them. I
Ooh.
still kind of hate the first one because of what they did with Mr. Phelps. All right. Because I
I
watched
didn't
that
watch
show.
I didn't watch the show, so I really
watched
like
the show.
that first one.
Wait, there was a
Um,
show?
Yeah, yeah, there was a show.
What?
There was a show. Yeah.
I think I remember this was a Mission Impossible, right? The gum that exploded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mission Impossible has the best theme song of a show. That and SWAT.
SWAT's good.
I watched the SWAT movie.
With a little wah wah.
Such a good. That is a really good.
Let me just add that to the list. Oh my god.
The ever-growing list.
Jim Phelps was done dirty in the first movie. Okay. Janan Klassen for 10 Canadian pesos. My character is sexy now, getting gear helps and using the transmog feature. Also, you can visit the hairstylist in Hogsmeade to make changes to appearance. There you go.
Also, still 15.
Still 15 years old. Star interviews are way different over there, says Avinash Kala for India. In India. Well, that poor guy who won the Golden Globe for RRR.
Mm-hmm.
was like, just making this really grateful speech and mentioning his buddies and his wife, and they fucking cut him off.
Start
Yeah.
playing him off.
Yeah.
Is this 1218 for 1999? Hello, Gary and Mr. Gore. Did you see the news about the Terminal List renewal and spinoff? Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes. I'm pretty excited about that. I was very pleased to see Rings of Power go down in flames while those Amazon lefty execs sign more paychecks to Pratt and Jack Carr. Good. Jack Carr, make all that money, baby. Make it all. Okay. Yeah. Big TV news. So we're going to get a Terminal List season 2, like we knew we'd get. And then a spinoff with John Carter.
Which is good. I liked
Taylor.
him.
Yeah. Well, my wife likes him. My wife's a huge Friday Night Lights fan. That's one of her favorite shows ever. And Yellowstone is canceled.
Really?
Did you hear that?
I heard.
I'm sorry, I'm under the weather and I'm like, my voice is going.
What?
Yeah, Yellowstone is done. It's a go to Hollywood Reporter, go to Deadline. It should be their first story. Kevin Costner wanted to cut. He would do 65 days of shooting. He wanted to cut it down because he's directing a Western, like a franchise. I think he's fucking stupid. I mean, I know he wants to direct his own stuff, but like, dude, your career was dead. His career was effing dead. He was playing Pa Kent, and now he's like, he's like the Godfather in a Western, and well, this modern Western, and he leaves. So he's leaving. So they're going to continue. They're talking of continuing the show with the other cast members and Matthew McConaughey, who's a great actor. But yeah, looks like it's done.
Wow.
The biggest
Here it
show
is,
in the
the
world.
spinoff.
Biggest show in
I found
America.
the spinoff one.
Like by far, like tens of millions of viewers, dwarfs Last of Us, even dwarfs House of the Dragon. Like massive viewership, massively popular show. Taylor Sheridan is like the king of Hollywood right now. I haven't seen Yellowstone, but I have seen his Tulsa King, which is the shit. It is a great show. Absolutely great show. But Yellowstone spinoff with Matthew McConaughey in talks amid report of Kevin Costner's uncertain future. It looks like it might be a negotiation tactic, Chris.
Yeah, it could be for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it's done unless he comes back. And if he doesn't come back, they'll just continue it with they'll probably kill him off. And
I like Matthew McConaughey. He's a pretty good actor.
I think he's great. True
Mhm.
Detective season 1 is one of the best seasons of television ever made.
He owns ranches, so he knows the life.
Yeah.
Gary, I agree with you on that. True Detective season 1. I watched it twice all the way through. Now I want to watch it just because you brought it up.
Fukunaga from
Mhm.
Oakland, who's been canceled since then. Like his shots are, it's a beautiful
Warner.
thing to behold. It is like
Dude.
just, so it's about a couple of detectives who are one's, cheating on his wife. The other one is just going down a downward spiral, and they're trying to crack this case of elites diddling kids, basically.
Yeah.
And it's dark.
Alexandria Daddario. Just gonna
but-
put that down there.
But it has such a great and satisfying ending. Like it is one of the most satisfying endings to a season television ever, where I mean you think it's going one direction and like I shared it with Flash. There's a little speech at the end that you probably won't get the context unless you see the show, but it's so great. It's so great. They describe the stars, right? And they're like, Woody Harrelson's in it too, and he's fucking great in it.
He's great.
And he's like trying to like lift up his buddy. I won't say who it is, but and his friend, and he looks up. He's all, used to always like tell stories about the stars, and he looked up and he's all, I see a lot of darkness. Looks like they hold a lot of ground. He's all, they do. But he paraphrases at the end. But he's all, the way I see it, the light's winning because we started out in the darkness. So I was like, once you see that line in context with the rest of the series, it's like, ooh, it was so fucking good. Like, that's good. That's good television. That's why I like this shit. That's exactly why I like this shit. So if you want to just see one good season of television, watch True Detective. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, I can't believe and just when I was gonna like start watching Yellowstone, my wife's already seen it, but I'm gonna watch because I liked Tulsa King. So I'm gonna watch all the Taylor Sheridan shit now because it's pretty good, Chris. It's pretty normal. You know, it's like it was made 8 years ago, but it's good.
That's the kind of entertainment I long for. It just seems like it's not in modern times. I've said it before, but I think that we're living in what could be considered the opposite of a renaissance. Whatever, someone's got to come up with a better way to describe it, but so much of everything is hot garbage, whether it's comic books, whether it's public statues in tribute to Martin Luther King, whether it's
the fall of Rome.
I saw Paul Joseph Watson did a great video just on the architecture in London.
Yeah,
that I thought was really good. Like, just so many things are garbage. I think there are people being elevated to positions where they're just not ready for those positions, and they haven't gone through they haven't been able to hone the craft too early, perhaps. And just same thing with, and then there's those beacons of light, like True Detective, the first season. That was years ago. What was that? That was pre-2016. So
I just starting my channel when it and this is a great it's perfect Lovecraftian horror. It is a detective story, but it is a horror story.
Yeah.
So it is, and you know what, the way it ends, it feels like a smaller story with something much bigger and darker going on. And I thought that's what they would do with season 2. Like they would still, and they kind of did that, but not really. I thought it was going to be more connected to that greater darkness, right? And it really kind of wasn't. So I don't know. I bowed out. I was just not in the season 2 at all.
Yeah, no, I watched all of
Taylor Kitchen that one, didn't it?
Yeah, he was in season 2, and so was
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn,
yeah. How was that the third season with?
I heard the third
Mahershala
season's
Ali?
good. I heard it's good. Not as good as the first, but way better than the second. It was great though. But
Good show.
you're right, Chris. You were talking about that. That's a little preview of my next video. And I think art being ugly. Art is ugly now. We are in full postmodernism, nihilism. Down is up, good is bad, black is white, 2 + 2 = 5. We're full on into that. We're denying reality now. We're just denying like biology.
Yeah.
And that's all CCP. It's all catering to the CCP.
Well, some people,
a lot of
That's
it
what got
has
us
been
here.
building up. Well, there's more to it than that, but that's what's really escalated things. As Razor Fist has said, Hollywood has always been red, and I didn't mean that to rhyme, but there's always been forces who weren't red. But when Bill Maher calls it out, I think that's huge. And then Deadline does an article on it without being judgmental. That's even huger. So if you want a preview of it, it hit daily last night. We talked about it yesterday. That's kind of like a preview of a bigger thing that I'm doing. Hey, I could be wrong. I'm trying to I'm doing all this at 80% right now because my brain is just not functioning very well. We got Sandy Q for $19.99 says, yes, my dear X-Ray girl, we'll add Mission Impossible to our lesson plan. You know what Cylons are now, don't you? You know what a Cylon is?
Vaguely. I've already forgotten that lesson, but
You
I'll look
are-
back at the
No.
meme.
No.
Sorry.
You
There's
are
lots
a
going on in my
Cylon.
life.
I know, like building Legos and
Man.
shelves and
Playing
Hogwarts
Hogwarts
Legacy.
Legacy, watching MILF Manor, X-raying, CT scanning, squishing boobs.
Oh.
That's my life.
It's mine too. Tough, but somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
Radio Man 1017 for $10. The cosplayers at the Marvel events are from a group called the West Coast Avengers. Most of them have pretty serious costumes. I know many of them personally. Hail chat, hail to the fellowship. Not the ones I saw.
Yeah.
They all look like they were Party City costumes.
Gary, you're right. The quality of the costumes at the red carpet. I think that they actually did it at a different location. They normally do it in Hollywood at the El Capitan.
Yeah,
And
they
it-
didn't do it at the El Capitan. It was at the West Hollywood something or other.
Westwood.
Westwood.
actually.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, that's near fucking UCLA.
Right. So I don't know if that had something to do with it, but it is a smaller space from where they normally do those events with your after party and all that stuff. So
Couldn't muster up the funds.
yeah, exactly. So
Dude, I want that ant that they made out of Lunchables. There's something, I'm obsessed with that.
Just put it in your backyard.
it looks terrible. Oh God. Oh. It looks like, you know what it looks like, Gary? It looks like Cootie. Do you remember Cootie? No.
Yeah.
Cootie.
Yeah.
Cootie.
Okay. Yeah. Cootie. Cootie was a children's toy that I'm sure
Yes.
still exists in some form. And that's what it looked like. It looked like Cootie.
Cootie.
I love that Gary gets all my references.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very excited about that.
I'm old.
I love it.
Not as old as you.
That's true.
Oh yeah, Cootie. Yeah, I know Cootie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cootie.
If you have kids, you know Cootie.
Yes. Valiant Renegade and WDW Pro are covering the Disney earnings call today. Stream starts at 4 p.m. Bring the popcorn. 4 p.m. what? Pacific? Eastern? Central? Base player 211 FE for $10.
Gotta know.
What are we going to learn? They're going to deny that they're woke. Everything is great. They're going to consolidate some stuff, and they're going to find a very clever way to say they're not laying off people while they're going to lay off people. Like, yeah, those earnings calls, unless somebody like Crank calls them and they're fully screened, I just don't know what we can parse out of a Bob Iger other than, I mean, they have to be honest about some stuff. They have to be honest about their earnings, their losses, but they don't necessarily need to be 100% honest about their streaming, because did you know they don't provide the data to anybody, not even the people who are running shows? Like, say you're running She-Hulk, like Jessica Gao will not know her numbers for She-Hulk. They won't tell her. You want to know why? Because they're extraordinarily low.
Oh man.
They would tell people if they were high. If there was 10 million people watching She-Hulk, believe me, you would know about
They'd
it.
be screaming at the rooftops.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon just got caught in a massive lie, and that just got swept under the rug. Oh, 100 million people watched The Rings of Power, but somehow it finished way behind the boys. And I mean way behind.
You know they're shitting bricks over there, man. I love it.
About 100 million people didn't watch The Boys. So how did 100 million people watch a show that finished behind a show where 100 million people didn't watch? How does that work out? Oh, because they're fucking liars. Dad's Den of Pop Culture for $10. I think the Hogwarts thing is really about being anti-cancel culture, not pro-anti-trans or left versus right. I agree. When the counselors rally, the anti-counselors have to rally as well. I agree with that. That's well said there. Well said. Nebraska because for $5. I'm lucky Marvel has forgotten about the comic Micronauts. They don't have the rights to them either. I think the Micronauts belong to Mego, which went, I don't know who owns them now, Hasbro or something like that. I'm sure somebody owns them. Remember the Micronauts? I had Micronauts.
I had Micronauts. I had the Hydrocopter. I had Time Traveler. I had Baron Karza, which was one of the coolest toys ever. It was really heavy, and all the sort of limbs were connected by magnets. Do you remember that, Gary? The quality of the toys was fantastic. And I bought the Micronauts comics. I read it, and it was weird as a kid. I mean, it was like that in the original Guardians of the Galaxy. I read those.
The original Guardians of the Galaxy was very weird, but I remember I was reading that when I was a kid, so I just thought it was like the Avengers, like that book would run forever, and it just disappeared. I'm like, where'd it go? I like that book.
Right.
It was strange.
But no, Micronauts was badass, and you can find you can find old stuff. Didn't they do like a reproduction run of Micronauts? They bring back like those. What do they call those? The retro action figures.
I
kinda
think
like
so. I think so. You could probably get the old ones probably pretty cheap. The only ones that are really expensive are old like Flash Gordon figures and the old Ralph Bashki Lord of the Rings figures. Good luck getting I can't even get those, man.
Yeah,
Those are out of my league.
Those are rare.
Yeah, they're rare and worth thousands of dollars. Yeah. But I don't have room for them anyway. But I do have a Micronauts page. A page from the comic.
Oh, really?
Art by Steve Ditko.
Wow.
And I bought it for $40 fucking.
What?
Wow.
Back in 2006. Yep.
That's great.
Yeah, Steve Ditko original art. I own it. So it's like one of my prized possessions. Matt Faction for 5 Canadian pesos. I am with Razor Fist. I moved away from comics and embraced the pulps. Yes, I'm pretty much there too. I'm just finishing the first Conan story, and it's awesome. Going to read the rest. The Sumerian was, by the way, there's 4 hardcovers out. You can go get them on Amazon. Word for word, Robert E. Howard. It's not called Conan, but it's Conan. And it's by it's bande dessinée. It's French comic books. So that's what I'm into now. That's the shit. That's the new stuff I buy. It's far superior to anything, including manga. Sorry, story and art matter. And the story and art in these books, and they're not politically correct. That's why a lot of the Western, and it's like Westerns and stuff. And there's some old stuff that's, Morbius, which is Mobius. Sorry, did I say Morbius? Morbin time. It's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
Which is freaking great. Like, there's so much stuff that they haven't translated yet, like old heavy metal magazine stuff too. And you can get old heavy. I got the story that basically Blade Runner is stolen from. Is it from a heavy metal magazine? And I bought it for like $100.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's essentially, that's what Blade Runner's stolen from.
So is that like where they got the idea for the book?
They got the idea for the book and how they're going to do the movie. I don't know the exact story on it, but I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It's from when was it? Early 70s? I can't remember. I'll whip it out.
70s era sci-fi. Yep. I really dig it.
Mobius is fantastic. Absolutely some of the best art. Period. Al McNeil for 10 British pounds. Thanks for all the great content. I nominate Max von Priestley MVP for a guest on FNT. Good dude. Yeah, dude, he helped me move.
I love that, bro.
He helped me move from San Diego. He's a good guy. We'll see. I'm going to see him in San Diego in 3 weeks when I go down. See Chrissy. He'll be there.
He's also going to be on Poor Choices tonight.
Is he?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We're looking at Reddit relationship advice.
Oh no.
Is there a thread for that? Is that real?
Oh yeah, it's Reddit. That has got to be the worst relationship advice.
Probably, but it's going to be a nice little rabbit hole. I'm going to
be watching it. I'm going to be watching it.
Nice.
I think it was again, brain only working at 80%. So I think it was the look of the movie. It wasn't the actual story, but it was like just the dystopian look of the movie. Mobius had a lot to do with Blade Runner. So Dan O'Bannon wrote a lot for heavy metal. He did. The great Dan O'Bannon. Oh, I think did I mean Fifth Element? It might have been Fifth Element. See, I get like my brain is not.
That makes more sense to the style.
Fifth Element. Like I said, brain working at 80% right now. No apologies. There's some shit that people ask me about some stuff. It's like I read it 30 years ago. I'll try.
Just pulling from the archives.
Pulling from the archives. A little rough today, kids. Robo Noitz for $9.99. What do you think of the rumors of Disney making Luke Skywalker gay? What do you think, Chris?
First of all, there's plenty of evidence to the contrary in the very first movie where he sees the image of Princess Leia and says, "Who is she? She's beautiful." Because Luke's motivation wasn't initially to like get off the farm and join the rebellion. It was he wanted to save the princess because he thought she was hot. And there's a romantic there's you see the sort of seeds of romantic relationship with Princess Leia, at least in that first movie. He, kissed her in the first film in Empire Strikes Back. He gets kissed by her again. And you see the rivalry between Han and Luke. All of this is revisionist bullshit. And I think look, I'm already out on Star Wars. I don't care. And now I'm to the point where I care even less. If they do something like this, it really shows how sickening the minds of some of the people working on this are. That they want to fulfill some bizarre fantasy or do this to stick it to other people who grew up thinking of Luke Skywalker as a hero. And I saw someone post on social media, we just wanted to see Luke Skywalker take down a Star Destroyer, and we got this bullshit.
Right.
And it's horrific, and it never goes the other direction. It never goes, you don't take a classic character that was always gay and make them straight. There's a reason for this, because I think there is something in the minds of certain people that want to take a straight person and see if they can make it with them and make it sexual. And that to me is it's perverted. And why are they working in fucking entertainment? It's
a fetish.
Like it's a fetish. That's exactly what it is. It's similar. I didn't want to go down.
It's weird.
All I'm saying is it's weird, it's perverted, it's fucked up. And to take an iconic character like that, fuck you, Disney, if that goes forward. But it seems like that is the agenda of every lower level person writing some bullshit High Republic novel that I'll never read.
Right.
I'm so done and out on this stuff. And it's not the quality of the product that's being put out by Lucasfilm, which hasn't had a movie since 2019. Okay. Which tells you maybe what they think of Kathleen Kennedy. Okay, I guess we're going to get Indiana Jones. That'll be the last one until they decide to recast with Phoebe Waller-Bridge or whatever the hell they're going to do. But I mean, it's just, do they not hear that the majority of people do not like this? There is a minority of very loud people that have worked themselves into lower level positions that are pushing this nonsense, and it's sickening. And if they do this, I fully predict that Mark Hamill will be in favor of it, which is stupid because there's plenty of evidence to the contrary in the shit that I care about, which is the original movies, that Luke wasn't gay and there was never an intention. I'd like to hear what George Lucas thinks of all this. George Lucas is silent. And I want to hear what George Lucas thinks about a character based on him. Luke Lucas is based on him. This is just, I'm pissed off because we're going to talk about this. I have a stream coming up at 1, and we're having Christian Toto on specifically to talk.
Nice.
There's not a big story, but there's a lot of little stories that are like this that have come out. The woke stuff from Sundance, which I think I sent you a story about that, Gary. Just there's like so many of these things. They have the cumulative effect of just fuck you. I don't want this nonsense. I will not support it. And I actually think that the unintended circumstance of this is it will make people more homophobic from the standpoint of you can't. And I actually like the episode of The Last of Us, the third episode, which some people have deemed as controversial. I thought it was a very good episode. I like to see that gay characters can be conservatives, because I think that if you look at the attributes of those characters, they kind of fall under the conservative umbrella, if you ask me. Same thing with Knock at the Cabin, actually, also conservative gay.
Well, because those people are real. Those people
exist.
exist.
People exist. Trust me, they exist. More of them in Hollywood than you would think are conservative and gay. But let me just say, it's Now it's to the point where people see anything that's gay and reject it. That's what it's done, is it's pushed people away. Where it's a knee-jerk reaction when it really shouldn't matter. I mean, I really like that story of Bill and Frank as a standalone. I think it's way too early. That should have been episode 10 or something.
Yeah, it would have been fine in season 2 or 10 or
whatever.
Later.
I mean,
yeah,
you're getting away from your main characters on the 3rd episode. Kind of a
That's
mistake.
all weird.
But I really like Nick Offerman. I like his prepper skills. I love it. I love the just like him being just getting gas, and he gets premium. There's just like a lot of little things I thought were awesome in that show. But it's going to push people the other direction because it's being pushed too hard.
I think it absolutely has already done that.
It's already done that.
Already at that point.
I sent you a meme in your DMs on Twitter that just sort of, if you go back, I don't know if you can put that up there. I can send it to X-Ray Girl. I don't know. We're late in the show, I know, but I'm just like, it's being pushed too much. Now, the thing is this, none of this is a surprise to me because I've been around indie film for so long, and indie film always had gay cinema, big part of indie film, right? Has been forever. Filmmakers like John Waters, who happens to be gay, also doesn't make films that are necessarily gay films and is also not a big fan of gay cinema, but John Waters makes comedies, right? That have more of a broad appeal, that may have a little gay bent, but it's John Waters. Now, the thing is, having seen these kinds of movies for years, they always had a limited market. They opened in art houses, New York and LA. They were small releases. They did well on, quote, home video or, whatever VOD, small movies, because it appeals to a small audience. You take these concepts and these ideas, you make them mainstream, or you try to put them into the mainstream. Exactly. And it pushes people away. It turns people off. So, I don't know. Did you find that?
Because you go into that visceral, which it totally flips on its head what identifying as an individual, however you identify, is about. So if you're an individual, you're a trans individual, you want to identify as a woman, as an individual, nobody individually has a real problem with that.
No.
Yeah.
Some people will. You have no control over that whatsoever, and you will never, ever change that. What will change eventually is it gets normalized in ways like presenting gay characters, which is just old. It's fucking old. But when you start demanding and telling people what to do and what to think, they're going to automatically reject you, and you're going to set your cause back decades.
Yeah.
End of story. This isn't about being trans or saying people don't exist. No, you're telling me that I have to start accepting things as an individual that I refuse to. And I think we can all come together at drawing the line at leaving kids alone.
Yes.
As adults, get your freak on. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. And as Chris said, I've been to drag shows that are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I liked Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's adult shit. Just stay away from the little kids. That's all we ask. It's not too much of an ask, but you're pushing and pushing, and people are going to push back. And Chris is right. It's gonna hurt your cause real bad, real fucking bad.
And like
we're trying to warn you.
Well, Chris said before, it's got to be from that community, people that are of that go. Hey, look, I don't want you to use me and the things that I am into as a platform for this degeneracy, because it is. It's degeneracy.
Yes. Shaking your shit in front of a kid is the lowest form of degeneracy.
The lowest. So you need, that's what everybody, they've got to go out and go, hey, you can't use me.
They're trying to push that all on the Christians. And no, it's not all Christians. It's atheists. It's agnostics. It's all guys. No, that we just draw a line right there.
A lot of people got problems with it.
Not everything has to go. All right. I'm not that much of a libertarian / anarchist. Okay. I'm just not. There's got to be a personal line that I think we should all adhere to. And just the basic shit, just real basic shit. All hail. Love everything you and the crew have been doing. Wanted to see if you can shout out our channel, Project Egg Roll. Eggs are very expensive, by the way.
Oh, man.
That's what I heard. We talk about pop culture, media, and video games. thank you guys for the entertainment. Project Egg Roll. Thank you for the $25 and go check out Project Egg Roll. I'm hungry. I could eat an egg roll right now. It probably cost me $50, but fucking, I don't know. So I'm gonna say it again. The reason there's an egg shortage is that's just presented to me anecdotally by somebody who actually raises chickens, passed on to my wife, is the feed. The feed.
That's what I've
So they
heard as
changed the
well.
feed to like a goat feed or something like that, and they started laying eggs again immediately. Weird.
Wow.
Weird. And when I
That's
asked
strange.
my men's health physician sponsor, I've been a doctor for 3 decades, specializing in men's health. I asked him, so, okay, I know this is back when anti-vaxxing was, there was, remember when autism
Yeah.
rose 600, 1,000%, and you were an idiot and a prepper and a far right-wing nut job if you go, is it the
Yep.
inoculation shots, maybe? Well, I asked him, I'm like, come on, bro, just between you and me, or a doctor, what do you think it is? And he said, food. The food.
Yeah.
It's the shit they're feeding us.
There's so many preservatives and chemicals, and if you're getting food, look at the label and look at what the ingredients are, and the very first thing that's on there is usually the ingredient that the most of in there, right?
Yeah, it's
There's
always that, yeah.
there's a new ingredient that's going into food. It's called like it's a shell word. I can't remember what the exact
That's
word is.
what
but
Adam was
it's-
talking about, yeah.
But it is the shells of beetles, bugs. They're trying to put in as filler, basically. You know, like back like 100 years ago, they put sawdust and stuff to fill it out. Well, now they're filling it with bugs. So
Wow.
yeah,
They're already feeding us bugs. The thing
they're
that I know,
already doing it.
the one thing that you might want to try this, go on like a sugar cleanse. Like don't eat anything that has sugar in
Oh.
it at all.
Yes,
Chicken.
yeah.
So Dave Lyon, both things can be true. It is indeed overdiagnosed for so the drug companies can sell more drugs, sell more especially things like Adderall. But both things can be true. It's still skyrocketed. Go look at especially, and go to a special needs class. I have a kid on the spectrum, by the way. So it is skyrocketed. It's overdiagnosed, way over, especially things like forget autism. ADHD is completely overdiagnosed and it's strictly for drugs. End of story. But both things can be true. It still went way up. And I don't know. We just had a major drug company lie to us for the last 2 years, especially one that settled the biggest settlement in history for lying, creating things like the fentanyl crisis. So I don't think it's that out of the realm of possibility to start questioning shit like that again.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think you'd be fucking nuts to trust your institutions at this point. Insane.
Cut that sugar out.
Yep.
Yeah, well, what's weird about the sugar, if you do that, you start to eat other things like ketchup. I can taste the sugar.
You can taste it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
so
Yeah.
strong to me now. Like, I just try to I don't put salt on things. I don't put I pepper my eggs. I don't put salt. But there's certain
it seems nefarious. Like whenever you eat sugar-free ketchup, it tastes the same. Why is there sugar in all of the all the mainline ketchups? There's sugar in it. Why?
There's natural sugar, fructose in fruit. So there is sugar in it, but how much you notice? I mean, they add sugar.
They add it.
Yes,
yeah.
it's
Oh
added.
yeah. Well,
You
part
look
of
at the
it
label.
is
Look at the label. It's
it is a
added sugar.
preservative as well because sugar does hold on to water, so it lasts longer. And let's just say the American diet, you need a lot of sugar and salt. Most people enjoy
to
that.
keep that stuff around.
And unfortunately, yeah.
And just over-diagnosing is a way of keeping your customers. That's why we have this fun biological question that we're not allowed to get into on YouTube in depth, is backed by lots of money, lots of new permanent customers.
Yeah.
And that's the way it goes.
Yeah. And let me be clear, when I say sugar, I mean the simple sugars that are processed, not complex sugars like you find in fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good sugars.
Yeah. Eat Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. Okay, we got. Let's see, how much do we got to go?
Like 3 more super chats, ones in a row. Do you want me to read them?
You could start with the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little lost.
Leo Trujillo for $20 says True Detective season 1 is a perfect Lovecraft horror.
Yes, it is.
It is. Agree.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Sorry, folks.
Let me
I'm
know if you want me to keep
fading
going.
fast.
Okay.
Sun's
another
getting real
one.
low.
Sun's getting low on
Mark-
my brain.
Mark K for $20. Here's a working title: Indiana Jones and the Mountain of Prescription Medication. To hell with the woke revolution. To hell with the Disney bait. And switch and burn Hollywood burn.
Let's go.
Yep.
Yes. Do you want me to keep going, Gary?
A toxic man flu for $50. Your brain is working at 80% capacity. Stop with the bragging, Gary. Some of us get by on a single digits. Also, all art died the day Springsteen mumbled his first song. I could not agree more.
Been downhill since then.
Yes.
Whenever I wonder, like, why do people like this? I just go, oh yeah, Springsteen has sold millions of albums, and so has Bon Jovi.
The people
The
are
people
retarded.
are retarded. No, not you people in the chat.
Not these people.
Not you people. You're smart.
Springsteen fans.
Stifler's Dad for $4.99. Volume 3 will be the last and only good MCU film. I am currently reading Annihilation, but are some other really good Guardians? Are there any other good Guardians of the Galaxy's runs? Yeah, I mean, their run kind of started with Annihilation, if I'm remembering correctly, but that whole run through War of Kings and all that is really good. And that's where James Gunn got most of his ideas for the first movie. So but as far as Guardians of the Galaxy goes, that's pretty much depends on how big of a comic fan are you. Are you like old school? Then go ahead and read the 90s stuff. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun, but I think the best was the stuff that came out in the mid-aughts. Nebraska, because for $5, thank goodness my comic Micronauts have been spared from the MCU. Yes. And they won't be fucked with. And neither will, no, I can't say that.
They might get fucked with. You don't take that off the
They
table.
might get fucked with. Rom Space Knight. I don't think they can fuck with Rom. Remember Rom, guys?
I don't know Rom.
I do. I remember Rom. Oh yeah.
The Space Knight. I have the toy somewhere around here.
I was going to ask you. You must have the toy.
I like the name Rom.
Rexness for $5. Movie Bob. Here's a quote. Look at these conservative weirdos freaking out over progressivism. Remembers watch list made to harass Chad Wizard gamers. Oh, did he? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. They somebody made a watch list to watch streamers of Hogwarts Legacy. I hope you have a lot of fucking time on your hands, because there was 1 million people watching it on Twitch altogether.
1
Collectively.
million?
I even got a weirdo coming into my chat.
1.2.
Here's Harry Potter is Star Wars. It is Star Wars. It's not kind of Star Wars. It's equal to Star Wars as far as cultural impact, capturing a generation. And I believe it will surpass it, because it's got books. It never fucked around at, a play. So what? A couple of bad movies from Wizard, but Harry Potter at Hogwarts is fucking massive. It's like J.K. Rowling is still raking in gobs of cash off her books alone.
When we went to Universal, Harry Potter World was the most packed.
Yep.
It was everybody was there.
Star Wars. It is as big. It is Star Wars. It is a massive IP that Warner Brothers, like David Zaslav's like, we got this Harry Potter thing. Why don't we just make a Harry Potter sequel? They're older. That would be the smartest thing to do, by the way. That would make the most money. If you got them all back together again.
But don't put them in a scene together. They should.
But don't.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
absolutely. They should separate them.
Slowly kill them
Why
off
would you
each
do that?
movie.
Totally kill them off.
Don't put them in a scene together. That would be stupid. I mean,
But
is there anyone smart at Lucas at
Nope.
like Disney that looks like you kind of bungled the Star Wars franchise, and now there's a dumb rumor. There's a couple things I heard because I listen to Drunk 3PO on Saturday afternoons, and that there a couple things. There was talk of redoing the sequels, and they just decided that would be too expensive, so they want to do a Rey movie with Grogu, which sounds completely stupid.
So double down
No one
instead.
wants that.
So
No one
double
wants
down.
oh
Don't-
god, I hope so.
Do it.
Please,
And
please.
But Drunk had a really interesting point, because he teaches like 5th grade. He was saying kids of that age don't care about Star Wars.
They don't.
Their
They
parents
love
do. Their parents do, but they don't care about Star Wars. They love Marvel. Marvel is big with kids.
Yep.
So that I believe that, right? Like, but yeah, Star Wars is just, you killed the franchise. You really killed it. And this lineup that they're doing, because I've been to all the Star Wars celebrations except for a few. And I went to the last one I'll ever go to recently. And wow, what the lineup, you saw like the lineup and what they're doing at Star Wars in the UK. Do you know about this, Gary?
What are they doing?
Oh, the drag show is probably
The
the
drag
most
show.
memorable thing out of
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Because
But
what
they should be doing with adults only, the Empire Strips Back. 18 and
Yes.
up, though. 18 and up.
But then that stuff, I don't mind that stuff because it's not officially part of the event. It's not officially sanctioned by
But what
Lucas.
else are they rolling out? Like, there's no
Yeah.
movies. There's
Right.
no movies. So it's Bad Batch, Ahsoka,
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Am I missing anything?
And you're
Pass.
withering memories of how when Star Wars was good. That's also what they have.
Ooh, that's why they did
Yeah.
it in Europe
I'm
this year,
done.
because it's just a waste of time.
I know. It's sad.
And they knew people wouldn't go to America, so like, let's put it in Europe where it's new
Man,
and
I
different.
loved Star Wars, man. I really did.
I miss loving Star Wars.
Me too.
I
miss-
don't.
I wish watching it. I wish I could show it to my kids and be like, "This was a great series." I'm just completely out. Like right now, like you said, like the kids now don't care about it, but they could, because I would be showing them to my kids. Right now, my kids are
Les
into
Star
Harry
Wars.
Potter because I'm showing them that instead.
No, they're not going to sell Star Wars. So what they're going to start doing is licensing. Okay. And you're going to see licensing coming back in a big way. Actually, who was on top of this was Roy Price, the former executive from Amazon. I talked about it in my video a couple months ago. They miss licensing dearly. That was a huge form of income that they just like gave up on because they wanted everything to be on their streaming service. And like at first I thought that was a good idea too. And then I remembered, licensing. And it's not just toys. That's the small part of licensing. No, it's licensing your stuff to other networks, other countries. It brings in gobs of cash. Currently, Doctor Who is licensed to China for billions of dollars. You can't see all the episodes though. Can't see all the episodes. But they're going to bring back licensing, so that's going to affect, I believe, comic books. And I'm not the first person who said this. Many people have said they're going to probably license out their comic books to other places who can do them, probably in other countries. They should maybe license them to some French companies. But yeah, they're going to start licensing out their shows and parsing out their products, which could create rights issues, but they're more worried about money. And I mean, not rights issues, but continuity issues, which they already have. So it doesn't matter.
Where are all those people that said that Disney Star Wars was a complete success? What happened to those people? You know, they kind of
Yeah, what
disappeared.
happened?
Oh, I have some exclusive recording of them. That's it.
Disheartening.
Like to see where they are now.
And nothing's ever bad is ever going to happen to the MCU. Oh,
Oh, wait.
Mm.
Those ones are getting few and far between as well.
Well, like this is what I point. If Star Trek Picard season 3 is good, it will be good because fans spoke up. All these, people on Twitter going, it was a success. Star Trek has never been a success. It's been just part of their programming. A lot of it got paid for by Netflix up front. it doesn't, when Paramount Plus mentions their earnings and everything, they never bring up Star Trek. But you know what they do bring up? Taylor Sheridan, Yellowstone, because that shit is making that's the stuff keeping Star Trek alive. Plus, they had a contract with Secret Hideout intern with Jar Jar Abrams. They can't break that contract. And if you look at it relatively to other showrunners who've been given hundreds of millions of dollars, $25 million to Alex Kurtzman is chump change. And they don't put the money that they used to put in this show. And they've had to like radically change directions. They tried to remake the original series with Strange New Worlds and failed because you have Akiva Goldsman who knows nothing about Star Trek. So if we get a good season out of all this shit, it's because the fans spoke up. And that's probably going to be it, by the way. We'll get that good season. Maybe it's a send-off. I don't know. It could suck as far as I know. But after that, there's no more Terry. And what I imagine will happen is that if it gets good ratings and does well, Alex Kurtzman will come back, Akiva Goldsman. Because right now, they're gone because they don't care because they fucked up Star Trek. They only want to go where they're relevant. And we'll just get more shit and it'll be dead. Doctor Who was canceled. It was canceled. And RTD came in. And it wasn't just me, okay? But after Timeless Children, me and Az were like, you're dead. There's only one thing you can do. And look at No Way Home that just came out. Do the same thing with Doctor Who. Bring back David Tennant. I never even brought up RTD because like what he said over and over again is he was done. He was done. And the reason he was done is his husband was dying during Doctor Who. And it was just a bad memory for him. But one of the reasons I guess he came back was kind of like to heal and get closure from that, which was very sad. His husband had brain cancer towards the end. And he basically took time. He quit to take care of him as he was dying. So they got a miracle. They got the modern George Lucas of Doctor Who to come back. I mean, it's not the greatest analogy, but it's close. And that's because it failed. All this woke shit fucking failed. And one of the reasons it failed is people spoke up about it. So now we get to turn around and whether you support it or not, and they like Doctor Who has to erase the Timeless Children, or most fans are going to be fucking out. And, Star Trek Picard season 3 might be just an anomaly in what's been utter shit since 2009. So I don't know. I don't think we save any of our franchises, but maybe we'll get some good original stories. That might be nice.
That would be nice.
Okay, we got to wrap it up. I'm about to pass out. I got to
pass
finish
right out.
this video, dude. I need some more chicken soup. And yeah, sorry to the Popcast guys. Sorry to Rob. Sorry to Chris. But I'm not going to be able to make it tomorrow. It sucks. I did not plan getting ill was not in the plans. It's not the coof, by the way. It's this normal seasonal crud.
So the coof?
So the coof.
Pretty normal.
I haven't bothered, nor will I bother get tested, but yeah, it just feels like a shitty cold. I don't want to be flying in a plane with it and get a bunch of other people sick. That'd be kind of selfish and rude. So yeah, sorry I can't make it. Guess I'll just watch it with the rest of the peeps.
I'll see you in a few weeks, though.
Yeah, I'll see you at the end of February.
Cool.
Hopefully I'll be able to get together with everybody else, Paulie, the Popcast guys, and that other person who will remain unmentioned. Just cause. And Robert. We'll get to see Robert, maybe. That'd be nice. But let's Chris, what do you got coming up?
I got a stream starting in about 30 minutes on the Film Threat YouTube channel. So check that out. Alan Ing and I will be there, and we'll be talking to our special guest, Christian Toto.
Christian's awesome.
He's so good. Yeah.
Hollywood and Toto. Great website. Good guy. Wrote a book. Guy's on top of he's on top of the culture war, the pop culture war.
Yeah. So going to be a fun show. That's Hollywood on the Rocks in 30 minutes.
He is based. What you got coming up, Quarter Black?
I'm going to continue my Hogwarts Legacy streaming after this. Let's see, maybe in the next couple hours, I'll kick one on. We're going to play it. And maybe we'll get another one of those Karen. Literal Karen came into my chat. claimed to
What?
be a fan of me for a long time, but couldn't support me anymore because of this transphobic game.
Oh,
Really?
So yeah,
Oh my
I called him out. I was
Do you
like,
remember-
you don't
Trans Bane from Crowder.
know me. Yeah, do you
Kind of missed that part.
missed all that stuff? So yeah, you don't know who I am. Just weirdos coming into chats saying, "Hey, you shouldn't be playing this game. I'm a supporter of you." So I'm gonna continue playing that game.
yeah. Garrett gets Mancy's. Okay, I'm just saying. There's a whole commercial out there.
There's a whole commercial.
It's really good.
Man, Pax
All
Pro.
right. What do you got coming up, X-Ray Girl? Let me guess. You're gonna play Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, I know. I feel like a parrot every time because I go after Az and Garrett.
Hogwarts.
I'm gonna be playing it in half an hour, so you can find me on my channel. And then I just wanted to plug this one thing extra. Let me find it. I have a shirt. It's another charity shirt. If you hardcore agree with Zachary Levi's views on Pfizer and want to support thyroid cancer support research awareness and patient programs, buy a shirt. My profits are going to go towards that. It's a limited run shirt till February 28th. So get them while you can.
Get him.
Sweet.
And F cancer.
F cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Hardcore agree. Pfizer's the devil. Yeah, sorry. I'm a little ill, folks. It's making my video making a lot slower. But I'm trudging through it and I'll get done. Yeah, fuck cancer. Kill my dad.
Fuck cancer.
And yeah, we got a couple videos coming out over the next couple weeks. And I guess tonight, if I'm not just completely delirious, I will play Hogwarts Legacy. It will be a member stream, but it will be live on the channel. Okay. We have a special title, very special title.
So excited for it.
Yes.
And yeah, I'll probably play it some over the weekend, then I'll return to Witcher next week. But yeah, in the meantime, we've got a couple Nerdrotic dailies out. They're doing well. Thank you very much. And the last one is kind of a preview of the next video. And then it's Picard and Ant-Man and back to reviewing things. That'll be fun. And that's it. So go tune in to Chris and Alan and Christian Toto on from Hollywood and Toto on Film Threat, because that'll be a good conversation. I promise you.
Appreciate it.
Chris, thanks, buddy. Thanks, Garrett.
Thank you.
Thanks, Exude.
Thank you.
And thank you to the Modrotics. What was that?
Meta PCs.
Meta PCs. Thank you, Meta PCs.
Thank you.
I
Meta PCs.
promise I will have the computer set up soon. It's still like right next to me, right here.
So many gamers are just like, no, why aren't you setting it up
man,
now?
I'd have that sucker set up right now.
'Cause you're a bigot, Gary. My hat ready for the stream.
There you go. There
Nice.
you go.
There you go. I wore that at Orlando. Hail, Salty Army. So yeah, have fun. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone in the super chat donation. You help keep the lights on. And I will see you tonight later on the channel. And video will be out whenever Perry is done with it. And Perry will be editing the next one. Very excited about that. He's been doing a great job on Nerdrotic Daily. So
Yes,
thanks,
he has.
Perry.
Yes.
And see you Friday with Amala and Brittany Venti. That should be a fun show.
That's gonna be fun.
Yes, it is.
I'm
Catch you
excited.
later, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.